Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Thank you for coming. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna. Hey, good morning there. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Let's try a little traditional here. Just try a little different thing today. Let's see. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Jesus, Srila Prabhupada. Jesus, Srila Prabhupada. Jesus, Srila Prabhupada. Jesus, Srila Prabhupada. Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shri Vasari Gaur Bhakta-vrinda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shri Vasari Gaur Bhakta-vrinda. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda, 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 Nityananda. Nityananda, 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 Nityananda. Nityananda, 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 Nityananda. Nityananda, 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 Nityananda. Nityananda, 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 Nityananda. Nityananda, 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 Nityananda. Nityananda, 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 Nityananda. Nityananda, 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 Nityananda. Nityananda, Nityananda. Nityananda, 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 Nityananda. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, 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 Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Shri Krishna Chaitanya 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 Oh Shri Krishna Chaitanya 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Nityananda, 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 Nityananda. Nityananda, Nityananda. Nityananda, 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 Nityananda. 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 Nityananda, Nityananda, Nityananda. Nityananda, Nityananda, Nityananda. Nityananda, Nityananda, Nityananda. Nityananda, Nityananda. Nityananda, 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 Nityananda. Nityananda, Nityananda, Nityananda. Nityananda, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Shri, oh my Lord. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, 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 Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Hare Krishna.
Professional mode, pop mode, host mode.
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shri Vasari Gaura Bhaktavinda. So, Janaki gave me a present today. The best present in the world. The most valuable gift one could ever get. I'm unwrapping it now. Now we can all be on the same page. Literally. Chaitanya Bhagavat. A very valuable treasure. The most valuable treasure. So I'm just opening it up and going to read from somewhere. Lord Vishwambara, Lord Vishwambara, Lord Vishwambara, Lord Vishwambara. Vishwambara, the shelter of the universe, shelter of all living entities. Lord Vishwambara walked down the street, surrounded by his students. Lord Vishwambara walked down the street, surrounded by his students. Like the shining full moon, surrounded by so many stars, against a velvet dark firmament. Lord Vishwambara, whose lotus feet are eternally worshipped. Lord Vishwambara's lotus feet, which are eternally worshipped. Lord, oh my goodness. Oh God. Lord Vishwambara's lotus feet, which are eternally worshipped. Lord Vishwambara's lotus feet, which are eternally worshipped. by Lakshmi Devi within her heart. Lord Vishwambara's lotus feet, which are eternally worshipped by Lakshmi Devi within her heart. Lord Vishwambara's lotus feet, which are eternally worshipped by Lakshmi within her heart, sat upon the bank of the river Ganga, sat upon the bank of the river Ganga. There he began his explanations. And commentaries establishing, refuting, and then reestablishing different points. The Lord said in Kali Yuga, the so-called scholar has no idea of conjugation, but receives the title Bhattacharya. One who has no knowledge of philosophy, he has the audacity to debate. But none of these scholars can ever challenge me. They can never challenge the Lord, or someone who the Lord is using. Because people in Kali Yuga, you think it was bad then. Oh no. People get titles. Bhaktivedantas and all this stuff. And they don't have the qualification. See? They have the qualification of being used by the Lord because of bhakti. And then you get the real Vedanta. Yeah. That's why I think our classes are so fascinating. Proof that the Lord is here using. How else can a fool speak properly? The Lord has to be using. See, there's proof. Oh, Haridas is a big fool, right there? Don't the scholars say that? Fool. Oh, Hari's a fool. And you're a student of a fool, so you're a fool too. He has the audacity. I'm going to read something else, otherwise I'll get in a mood. I think I'm going to wake up some other mood. Let's see here. We're going to take Tom's advice. What mood do we want to wake up today? Let's see here. Pick up another place. The most merciful Lord then said to the brahmachari, brought back to his house, he placed his lotus feet upon his head and blessed him, saying, do not try to gain power by performing austerities and penances. See, so how should we gain power? Render loving devotional service to the Supreme Lord Vishnu, Krishna, for this is the highest of all activities. It's kind of like, when Jesus said, if somebody smacks you on the face, turn your other cheek and give it to him. Huh? Who the heck can do these things? So you have to know the process of getting to that consciousness. Rendering loving service, Yeah, again, just hang out with those devotees who are engaged in the loving service of the Lord. Yeah, that's the procedure. And then you can easily attain it. Learn from them. because the Lord gives them the right information. No one else has it. It's a secret. Bhakti is a great secret. You can't gain power by the austerity of study. You have to get the mercy, man. Be around real devotees who have this engage in a loving service. Pretty easy, huh? People knew this. You know how many people get into the kingdom of God? Yeah. Oh, loving service of devotees are here. They engage in loving service. Yeah. Thinking constantly about the Lord's causeless mercy upon him. He gave him the loving service of the Lord, causeless mercy. Because he associated, this is the brahmachari, the milk drinker, who associated with Srivas. And Srivas snuck him into the kirtan. Always a devotee involved in all this stuff, Real ones. Not replicas or wannabes. The brahmachari began to weep in joy. The devotees became jubilant and offered their obeisances to the Lord, who then resumed his ecstatic dancing. One who hears this wonderful narration, actually, let's hear that wonderful one. Let's back up a little bit here. Once upon a time, a brahmachari, a celibate, once upon a time, a celibate student who was very peaceful, honest, and faultless, practicing penances and living only on milk and fruits, went to see the kirtans of the Lord. Oh, wanted to see the kirtan of the Lord. I have some other music. I'm going to try some other stuff. Ooh, that's interesting. Wanted to see the kirtan of the Lord. However, the Lord would personally shut the doors so the non-devotees could not enter. The brahmachari would visit Srivas Pandit every day and repeatedly request him to be allowed to enter the kirtan. He would say, "If you kindly take me inside your house during the kirtan, then I can feast my eyes on the pandits." If you will kindly take me inside your house during the kirtan, then I can feast my eyes on the pandits chanting and dancing. I will be ever grateful to you for this. He wanted to see the ecstatic kirtan, but the Lord wasn't allowing any non-devotees. See, no devotion. See, non-devotees, no devotion. Yeah. He didn't want it to be disturbed by non-devotees. Finally, one day, Srivas Pandit replied, "I know you to be a good person who spends a sinless life eating only fruits, milk, and maintaining strict celibacy. But you will have to remain hidden inside the house, since the Lord orders are that no one is to be allowed within. Srivas then secretly brought the brahmachari inside, who soon carefully concealed himself. You know, there are two stories here. There's this one. See, the Srivas got him into the kirtan, snuck him in, even against the Lord's orders. And then there's another one. Now, this guy was a sinless brahmachari. He couldn't get in either directly. He couldn't go directly to get to God. See, in other words, the Lord wouldn't allow. But he sincerely petitioned Srivas, who was already connected. See, he was an eternal servant of the Lord. And so he's one example of the other extreme, a sinless brahmachari who couldn't get in going directly, but went through the devotee, right? Who has an authentic, genuine, devotional relationship, surrendered relationship with the Lord. Then there's another one. One was you think, well, you have to have that qualification to even get the mercy of Srivas. No, we have another example. A tailor who was serving Srivas also, and even getting paid to do that. And he was a Muslim beefeater. And he also got engaged in the intimate, loving service of the Lord. One day he just started to freak out. He saw the Lord's transcendental form and jumped up and said, I have seen. See, the Lord revealed his eternal form. And he was filled with ecstatic bliss. See, he was serving Srivas. See, always back to the real devotees. This is the secret of bhakti. And that's, the Lord hides that truth until you're ready. He'll hide it in different ways. One way, being a materialist in the material world. Or even in religion, you go through the persons claiming to represent Krishna, right? In Vaishnavism. But they can't bring you into the kirtan, the inner kirtan, where you feel you can see the Lord dancing. See, he only dances with Radha, Radha and Krishna dancing. They can't bring you in. Okay? So that's what I've seen in Vaishnavism. A lot of talk, but nobody bringing one in to the inner kirtan. Yeah. Except here. I mean, that's what I'm seeing. I see with my own eyes. I see people engaging in the loving service of the Lord, developing power that way. See, that's where the power is. Not by austerities to develop spiritual power to attain Krishna. No, just go, associate with devotees, learn from them. Real devotees, if you can find them. Yoga Maya is hiding them unless they're really preaching and somehow you become convinced. Like we seem to be convincing a few here and there. And all of a sudden you start to feel just naturally a relationship with God without the austerities, without the big penances these big sannyasis are doing, and they can't even get. They're still trying to attain. See, they're like that brahmachari trying to attain. I'm going to do it by my vegetable eating and this way and that way and my austerities, and I'm going to do it on my 1 lakh a day or 2 lakhs. Some of them 2 lakhs. I'm going to do it. I'm going to attain. They still 2 fingers too short because no devotion. Okay. But those going in the right way, when they understand the preaching of a real devotee, because I'm just saying what the Lord is showing me in these passages. How come all these gurus aren't seeing it? How come the sannyasis aren't seeing this? Isn't that a simple thing, isn't it? See, you have to have a relationship with the Lord. He tells his real devotees these things. These things are so simple, but unless the Lord reveals it, we can't know. You can't know where the real path is. It's just people trying to scramble. Well, we're gurus, we're sannyasis, we're head of the Krishna consciousness movement. We got to do something. We got to present something. Let's get together and have a meeting and we'll try to figure. See, you can't figure it out like that. Only the devotees have it. Real, rare. See, like gold, the gold, and where you could see they have actual relationship with the Lord. See, and then you very easily. See, isn't that why is this book written? Why? Because they want people to enter the kingdom of God, but you got to go in the authorized way. Not the unauthorized, not through non-devotees that don't have pure love of God awakened. Okay? They're not the door, man. Those who represent the book are the door. See? They're a living manifestation of the book. See, nobody is alive in this world until Japa Bhakti awakens in their heart. Love for God, real love, the genuine one, spontaneous love. You're not alive yet. You're not born yet. It's like Jesus. You must be born again to perceive the kingdom of God. It's right here. Here you go. It's the kingdom, man. So I say this is the most valuable present to get. Okay? Why? It's the kingdom of God. Just open the book, and devotees are with their God, communing. Now that is a treasure. Otherwise, it's just more or less a book. You feel distant from the words. He would say, finally one day Srivasan secretly brought the brahmachari inside, who soon carefully concealed himself. The kirtan started and the Lord of the 14 worlds, Vishwambara, began to dance. Lord Nityananda and Gadadhar Pandit danced around the Lord, while Advaita went dancing hither and thither, floating on waves of joy. Everyone was drowned in the ocean of ecstasy, becoming oblivious of the external world. That I was just thinking, the preaching of the Christians, what has the preaching of the Christians always been? Go through the door, have faith in Jesus. Isn't that is really the essence? Faith in a real devotee that's authorized and sent here. Even if they've disappeared from our physical sight. Okay? Have faith. But yet, only the real devotees can convince you of that. Only the real devotees are authorized to transmit that kind of faith, not the hypocrites. Those doing it, yeah, that's the line, basically. They teach you about the incarnation. Because they feel that incarnation. They have a relation with it, transcendental. See, they're authorized to preach the glories. That's why the incarnation comes and starts everything. See, and then the devotees, who are real devotees, they remind everybody about the incarnation and the incarnation's teachings. See, that's what makes it work. So you need somebody to represent these incarnations. You notice the incarnations? Bhagavad Gita was an incarnation of Krishna. And so who represents that Bhagavad Gita? See, who represents those truths that were brought here by God? Okay? Yeah. See, that's who you need to hear from. See, that's the bona fide representatives. They have transcendental relation. See, that's the foundation. That's why, the Christians harp on Guru Tattva. if they really represent the truths of Christ, their testimony will help the Holy Spirit awaken in you. Okay? The Lord's very pleased when you hear from his real representatives in the line. See, he shows his pleasure by showing himself to you. Oh, you're listening to my real devotee who has a relationship with me. Oh, well, let me awaken in you too. Pretty simple, huh? See? Like Lord Chaitanya said, those who awaken devotion to Krishna are certainly the spiritual master. Now you can be certain. There's a real guru here. See, people don't know the real standard. Look at that guy, Mahavir. You talk to him, he's doesn't have the real understanding anymore. He's a Brahmin. He's almost initiated by, or maybe initiated by Prabhupada, way back when and everything. Doesn't understand the essence. Lost. See, all because you don't hear from a real associate. You can't understand. No matter how much he studies the Goswami books. So I'm only mentioning this. This is an example of the problem. You have to have the mercy. Go ahead there, Lily.
Yeah, not hearing the vibrations affects your intelligence, really. It really affects it in the wrong way.
Yeah, you got to associate with real devotees. They're literally the door. Otherwise, you cannot attain Krishna just by what Lord Chaitanya said. Now, don't try to get me by, you doing austerities. Even study of the Vedas. I mean, it's good to study the books and all that, but you got to understand the way you really get the mercy. If you're really studying and really doing austerities, you'll do with that brahmachari. If the Lord is pleased with you, he'll give you the realization. Oh, look at this. Srivas has a real relationship with the Lord. He is allowed to the inner kirtan. Okay, so he realized, let me petition his devotee. See, this is the path. Now, the thing is, we don't have the Lord was here 550 years ago, so we don't have that situation. He was actually physically present, and you could see. But this principle applies on the internal level too, because the devotee is in the inner kirtan of the Lord. He's got that going. See, so the same principle. You go, even though you don't see the Lord physically present, but you can see the symptoms of the Lord physically present. That's that ecstatic communion. See? So those are the devotees who can get you in. If the Vaishnavas understood this, whether they're gurus or they're followers that don't have this understanding, because you've seen, like you confronted that Brahmin, and he studies the Goswami books and all these things. And he actually just proclaimed there's no prema in this world. See, none for him. He lost it. So anyway, people have to hear it. Go ahead. What?
I wonder how deep his prema was then in the past if he doesn't recognize the symptoms now.
Oh, well, what it is you get shadow bhakti by being in the right place. And that's how you start to get purified. You got to stick with it. Shadow is you just in that association, you pick the moonlight rays. But then you there's contamination that has to go. And one is Mayavadi. See, the Mayavadi mentality is, oh, I got this now. Thank you very much. I'll see you later. It's contaminated. It's not Vaishnava. And he and others, even my ex, always had this. It makes you competitive. And so you start feeding the weed of this competition with Guru and God. Actually, it's competition with Gurus, same. And wanting to be equal, and then it ends up wanting to be better, because then you start instructing. Like you see him, my ex-wife, instructing the Guru. Can you imagine? Where he never acknowledged that darshan was because he was here with us. He never acknowledged that, he got all these song inspirations to write these beautiful songs because of being here. See, the Lord never could acknowledge that. See, that's ungratefulness, not knowing that. So I only mention this is a big obstacle for these ISKCON devotees, and all of them. Prabhupada's godbrothers had the same thing. They just need whoever did acknowledge him, I mean, from their heart, not pretentiously, not so that they can gain power. And a lot of them did. I mean, I could see it. They put their pictures next to Prabhupada to show that they were equal to him. Bullshit, man. I'm sorry, man. You don't know who Prabhupada is. You don't know Bhakti Siddhanta, Bhakti Vinod. I've seen, people try to discredit them or try to be equal with them. It's the same. How do I know? Because they do the same thing here. Same thing. Prabhupada's disciples do the same. They're the same. It's the same contamination. What they did to him, what they did to Jesus, what they do to all devotees empowered by Shuddha Bhakti is always the same thing. So the big challenge is to help those devotees also get over that so they can get Krishna also. But all the devotees can do is instruct, try to help people, because if you hold on to that, you take another birth. You take the false ego with you. That's all false ego. It's not Vaishnava. People don't know what a real Vaishnava is. Only the devotees can teach you and show you what a real Vaishnava is. Nothing to do what you eat or what you drink. That's only maybe beginning things and to make you a Brahmin and all that. But look how many people come here and get this benediction. Whether I'm never questioning, what are you eating? What are you not eating? What are you doing? Are you following this rule, that rule? It's not the question. No, it's always the same thing. Like when Jesus taught, whoever will hear from me.
Thanks for using.
Will get this. You will be clean from the words spoken by the devotee. It cleanses your consciousness. You really hear the essence. It knocks away all the ignorance, all this stuff that these wannabes, these ignoramuses, these people trying to imitate pure devotees by taking the thing guru of the Krishna consciousness movement. I'm sorry, man, that's very ignorant. You're very ignorant. You're not, what is this? You're an idol. Even in the 10 Commandments says, thou shalt not put any other gods before me. Do not worship graven images. Graven means there's no life in it. See, the devotees, they bring forth the true God. That's what they do. That's what Jesus did, right? They bring forth the true Lord. That's what all devotees, they show the Lord's nature. And anyway, we're here to show the Lord's real nature, which is this ecstatic worship, what Lord Chaitanya showed. You don't see those symptoms in Jesus showing it so much. It came after. And not that much. They're not like showing all these things because it's 2,000 years ago. And now you can see people who have the Holy Spirit. They've got some. I spent a month with really nice Christians, and some of them are really amazing. They had the real, just this Holy Spirit was just take hold of them, and they were just worship like that. That's the Lord's looking for, that worship. But a lot of them weren't. They don't have the Siddhanta, because it's just not so clear. So, if they have the Shiksha goes on. And, luckily I got Prabhupada's books, even though I had the Spirit Awaken, got Prabhupada's books, and it helped me get more solid, more clear, about what is what. And then, have experience too, watch people that don't have it and, say they have it or, claim to have it, but can't do anything. They can't awaken this in anybody. See, that's the bottom line. Like Lord Chaitanya said, those who awaken devotion to Krishna are certainly spiritual master. Simple, one friggin' sentence says it all, but nobody sees it. Everybody got a big, long books. Once I read a book, or started reading, and I couldn't find anything in this big book about what is a bona fide guru. Everything was dancing around the whole friggin' issue. And Lord Chaitanya makes one little statement. Yes, it's correct. Those who awaken devotion to Krishna, certainly, because that's how it comes. That's parampara. Yeah. Especially when the devotees are preaching love of Krishna. We're preaching the love of Radha and Krishna here. And because it's here genuinely, and we're preaching it, not, feeling it, going in the room and just, shutting the camera off and then coming before the public. And here's a bunch of rules for you. Here's a regulation, Varna, Ashram, Dharma. See, that's not really giving you what you really have, and you're keeping secret. Like this is a big trick. I mean, this is what they're trying to preach, is that's what they've seen since Bhakti Vinod. They were in their private room and all this. And so, and most of I think 99.9% of these people are just imitating. They say or they want to infer that they got it just so they, yeah, go ahead. What?
You would hear it on their preaching that they have it. You would hear it.
Yeah.
Because they would see it differently than they do.
Yeah. It's all. So anyway, people, there's so much speculation on this whole thing. That's why you got to find the rare devotees. Right now, this is so rare because it's here and it's being preached, and it's being preached through a Sudra, through a fourth class. I don't consider myself anything like any Brahmin or anything like that, but the real deal is here. Anybody who hears this preaching, sees this preaching, associates here, and sees the witnesses are getting this because they have faith in this preaching, faith in this word, will get it. You'll feel yourself making progress, especially when you overcome the doubts. A lot of people just, I mean, even when there's subtle doubts, I mean, I'm still trying to get comfortable surrendering to the name. I mean, really, with honesty, there's still a little slight thing, like wisps there, like in the background, thinking, oh, can you sure you can trust Krishna? See? So I tell you, it just goes on. And Krishna's so wonderful. He doesn't wait for you to be perfect. He just gives himself, here, I'll keep giving you the bliss, and you'll develop more and more trust. See, this is more and more. It shows me like, listen, look what you're listening to when you surrender to people talking bullshit. You're listening to that and you're feeling unhappy listening to the worldly people, like your family, friends, you feel miserable, listen to this bullshit, and because of worldly vibration. So why not surrender to the bliss and be happy? That's, I'm sorry. Yeah. And get more. Yeah. Just surrender more. And the Lord gives more bliss, more. So we need a lot of experience with this Shuddha Bhakti Lord. You need to really feel him strong every day. That's why, otherwise, and make progress through all these, whatever's in the way, your personal challenges. Just purify more and more, stay around close to sadhus. And then no problem, you'll make continuous advancement. Otherwise, you get off the train, you see what happens. You regress back to the way you were pretty much, especially because you start committing offenses. Everyone I've noticed that ends up leaving sadhu sangha, and they sometimes say, "Oh, I give respect to you and all that stuff. I give respect and all that," but then they end up getting critical. Every one of them. They end up saying, this, he's not really doing the right thing. We're doing the right thing. See, the competition. See, this is Maya. It just takes over, and you just start serving her. And that's where you're inauspicious. Is why your life becomes inauspicious. But that's the lesson. Everything becomes hard. All you're back into austerities again, or Brahmin stuff, and you got to really work for it. And you follow the wrong path, actually. You're so easy, man. You come and hang around with ecstatic devotees. Oh my God, how much more easy can you get? And have an enjoyable time. I mean, we were on 4.5 hours yesterday talking about Krishna, discussing, sharing. Where do you do stuff like that? And nobody wanted to leave. Just, yeah. Let's see what we got here. We got some comments here. So come on, guys. Let's see. Hey, Pani, why don't you come on, man? Why don't you come up here? You got a wonderful rumbling voice. Rumbling. What's a rumbling voice? Study of the books is not enough. You want to read some of this?
Study the books is not enough. We have to hear from the real spiritual master, who is Acharya Srila Gaura Haridas.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's the vibration, man, realization, and that's the secret. Otherwise, you hear from those who are not realizing. The Lord is not informing them this intimate knowledge. This is all secret. This is all very dear to the Lord. Bhakti is a very secret, and so he reveals to the devotees and to whom he chooses. And actually you're getting the real Father, the real God, in the word. See, the word, because it's very close to the devotee, and the Lord gives them the right understanding. And without the right understanding, you miss the mark. You go to the false ego and you listen to the false ego, and it's finished. Okay, what does this say here?
One important point, as I see, is that one always has to keep up in a humble state of mind from keeping one from falling off the right path, the real association with ecstatic devotees, as in this Sangha, Jaya Gurudev and devotees.
Yeah. Well, you tested in that sense. See if you have the right understanding. Yeah, and and the humility is you can't be false either. False humility. You can't. It's not, humility is actually an ecstatic symptom. Otherwise, it's feigned. Devotees. So it's an inner, very yeah. Go ahead. What?
It's when you deeply understand your position.
Yes, just naturally. Yeah. But a lot of Vaishnavas, they're taught in like in ISKCON to be falsely and then if you share what's inside, even though it's not very pretty, oh, how dare you? That's offensive. Don't just stuff it, and act humble. See, I've had so many. You got to act humble, Prabhu. Put on an act. No. That's not it. Better to be real. What's really going on?
Especially when you say the truth and they say you've got to be humble.
Yeah, you got to be humble, In other words, don't tell me any of the truth, man. Just be humble. Keep your mouth shut, man. And let me talk. Listen to me.
And then my false ego, yeah.
Listen to me. Read that.
How can one be humble if you don't have the right association? Then it's just playing be humble.
Yeah, I mean, bottom line is if you can remain in this association, all kinds of qualities will manifest. Not only humility is not just, the Lord, the devotees, just like here, when you're in moods in the world, worldly, material emotions, you're in an emotion, you're in an emotion. So spiritual emotions are the same. Sometimes you're humble, sometimes you're in this, that, or whatever. Maybe you're authoritative, maybe you're chivalrous, maybe you're angry. But it's all shoot up. It's all part of that. Yeah, spontaneous devotional service. I mean, look at Krishna. He was on the battlefield. He was fighting. He was doing all kinds of. You think it's mundane? Anything he's doing? What, his emotions were mundane? He's chivalrous and angry sometimes. All it's transcendental. People don't know. They think a devotee is always humble because the scriptures say devotee is always humble. Yeah, well, it's there, and it'll come out and be expressive sometimes.
No one can be a bona fide spiritual master without following this principle of disciplic succession. The Lord is the original spiritual master, and a person in the disciplic succession can convey the message of the Lord as it is to his disciple.
Yeah, that's the essence. See, all those who realize the truth speak like this. It's just, see, okay, no one can be a bona fide spiritual master without following the principle of disciplic succession. See, teach that. Yeah, you got to get it in succession. And when to get that more clear, it's where's the current? Where is that ecstasy that started with Lord Chaitanya Nityananda? Well, actually started with Madhavendra Puri. That kind of ecstasy through the line to 2021. Where is it now? It was in Prabhupada. Prabhupada had it, even though he didn't teach what we're teaching extensively. It was more beginning stuff. It was in Bhakti Vinod. See, that's the principle of the disciplic line. Where's that current? Because if you have the ecstatic worship inside, you'll have the right understanding. You'll do what Krishna wants spiritually, whether it's to reveal or hold back. So now it's to reveal under the approval of the Parampara. Okay? So you got to see, is the current there? Does the Guru now in 2021 have the same kind of ecstasy that Prabhupada had? Ecstatic devotion. Very unique, very wonderful, very different than anything. It's not, most devotees you could see, they don't have it. Where do you see it? Where? Just they maybe talk a good thing, blah, 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 blah. But where is the ecstatic worship? Where's chanting Hare Krishna ecstasy? Visible, so that we don't see. It's but the principle disciplic line is that principle. Where's the current? See? Because wherever the current really is, the knowledge will be there, the real knowledge. And then if it's the real disciplic line that you're representing, like we're representing the Gaudiya Vaishnava line, the essence of your teaching will coincide, like here. See, the message of the Lord as it is to the disciple. See, you're getting the real message here, not a checklist. You don't see me drawing up any I don't need to. I got what the checklist is in the book. We just take the verses as they are. See, as they are. Very powerful. Yes, it is correct. The one who awakens devotion to Krishna is certainly spiritual master. What's the do? See, all you need to do is hear it authoritatively spoken by a person who has realized that, understands that. Then it carries weight. Otherwise, people just read these verses and skip right over it. They have no realization about it. They're not that kind. They don't awaken devotion to Krishna. So how can they understand the verse? I can understand the verse, say, yeah, it works, because look at Lalita Ganga. She's getting it.
And they don't get the right explanation what's in the verse by their spiritual master. So you read it, you just read it, but it doesn't touch your heart.
Yeah, you don't get to see, you don't get the right purport. You get something else, a checklist. That's why I say the checklist ain't going to deliver you unless what is on the checklist is in the book. But what do you need a checklist for when you have a book? Better to read from the scriptures. They never pull out checklists even in the Jewish times. They would, and even in Vaishnava times. I went to in Vrindavan, the persons, they brought out the book and they had it all wrapped up. This is what they, in our line, they take the book. No, like stuff out, different. No, they took the book and they unwrap it. They put it in a nice cloth and they respect it like God. And then they read. See, and then you tell people, and then they could see, are you getting it as it is? Not pulling out checklists and saying, oh, preach from the checklist. What is this? No, we got the holy books here, So I say, I'm preaching from the book. You can go and you can see these verses I'm preaching from. So that's the principle disciplic line, the current and the real knowledge that comes from it as it is. If you don't have ecstatic devotion, pure love of God, you won't have a clear conception of the absolute truth. Even with ecstatic devotion, it has to develop. You see, people still go off because they need more purification. They get maybe some param, what do you call param? They call it para attachment. shadow attachment from being around ecstatic devotees, or even some awakening. But you got to go on. I mean, especially now, because the opportunities here, we can stay together and get more and more purified. Yeah, I mean, why not? If you go off, there's something wrong. There's something off. There's some kind of thing you're holding on to. Let's see here. Okay. Here, go ahead. This is the verse.
Johan says, hearing Mukundananda Dasa give this proper decision, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu confirmed it, saying, yes, it is correct. One who awakens devotion to Krishna is certainly the spiritual master.
Yeah, devotion to Krishna is pure love of God, man. It's so rare, it's so wonderful, and it comes through the real devotees. Yes, certainly. Certainly. There's no doubt. You could say, like here, you could say, go, Ari, are you following this and this and this rule, that rule, Varnashram Dharma and all that? You're not bona fide because you're not following strictly all these things. And they never even consider what Lord Chaitanya says. Because that's really the essence. Whether you're a Sudra or sannyasi, does your preaching awaken devotion to Krishna in others? Or people at least making progress to that direction? Some people, they have a lot of shit on top of this, a lot of identifications with different modes. It takes a while. But you should be feeling I'm making progress, I'm in a place. And so they're like here, you can see quite a few people are awakening. This devotion of Krishna is awakening in them. And so that's really the essence. And if you use some other standard, see, you're using lower standard. You're not using, this is the gold standard. See? Because gold is gold. Even if, like Prabhupada used to say, why not take gold from a filthy place? Gold is gold. Usually there's dirt around real gold, but can you see the gold? See, a lot of people looking at the dirt. They're looking, they're thinking, or they're fooled by fool's gold. Fool's gold is, oh, this person is sannyasi. Oh, they got a stamp from their society saying that they're gurus and you're now saviors of your disciples. See, and so dress right. You dress nice sannyasi, big stick, you're prancing around like this. Is that really the gold standard, or is it something? What is in the heart, man? What is underneath? What is internal going on? Not just, well, I'm just looking, that's the gold standard, is the external thing. No. The gold is these verses. These are internal. This is the internal potency. This is the internal teaching. This is the confidential teaching. Okay? External is, you brush over that and you look at rules, regulations, externals, Varnashram, this external bhakti, not internal. That's why you listen to one class here like this. Say one paragraph of what's spoken here could overturn 40 years of illusion. That's how powerful it is. You really listen attentively to what I just said, you'll stop following gurus who are not qualified, that you have been following for 10, 20, 30, 40 years. But you don't hear this teaching. You don't hear this essence of truth. You'll just go on doing that. Your ignorance is not destroyed. Hey, that's why people criticize this preach. It's too truthful. I don't hold back. I just tell you, hey, man, truth is truth. No respect or break. You're a sannyasi? Yeah. Do you come up to this standard? Are you a real spiritual? You have spiritual mastering? You have title? Bhakti Vedanta? Yes. Do you awaken devotion to Krishna? Oh, well, that's in many lifetimes. I'm sorry, man. You're not qualified. Get the hell out of here. Stop teaching, man. Go sell shoes. Go be a shoe salesman. What are you selling Krishna for? You don't have the shoes. Go out there and sell the shoes, man. Go out there and sell cars, man. What are you trying to sell Krishna? You ain't authorized. See, it's too truthful. People, no, don't break my illusion. No, I want to believe my Gurudev's he's going to deliver me because I love him so much. Oh, and I'm just so attached. I've seen people like attached to their gurus, like the guru's bogus, or they don't have anything to really give them. And even the guru doesn't. It's just like, I saw, don't like these emotionally, materially, emotionally, it's just like in a bad marriage, So both parties are, I seen this in ISKCON, some of the relationships with some of these women, with their gurus like that. And the gurus won't even talk to, he won't talk to me. I love him so much. It's so material, So anyway, practice. And then they hear this, people don't know what is devotion to Krishna. Anyway, we do the best we can. We show them and teach them about it. Use the books as it is. See, as it is for those who want to enter into this. And, you have to pretty much be a disciple. I mean, to be honest, to people, I've had these people, they want to just be friends. Oh, I don't want to be my guru. No. I just want to be your friend. But don't teach me all these confidential things. But you don't learn the essence, that this is in parampara. You got to be a disciple. It's in disciplic succession. What the hell does that mean? You got to become a disciple, and then you become friends. Otherwise, person isn't purified. I don't consider, when I hear people coming out of their mouths, this thing wanting to be equal with guru, it's like, yuck. What is this? Real Vaishnavas don't feel like that. I don't feel, No, you got to come in. Disciplic line means disciple. This is the thing. And then you'll get through. Otherwise, you won't make it through, right? You can see that. Look at all the bhakti Lalita is getting. She has the right mood. See, it's a mood thing. Here we go. Got Pani. All right. He's got his white cloth on, I think. Oh, he's got his thing. Oh, good. You take your bath there, Pani?
Yes.
He took his bath. Good.
I moved to the colored one from white.
Oh, the colored one today. Oh, nice.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna, Lalita. Hare Krishna, all devotees.
Hare Krishna, yes. You got any comments or questions?
No, I was just thinking that this has become more like a habit and more of a need to hear your vibration, as Lalita was saying, because without which, as she rightly said, you get all the misconceptions from Maya. And then it starts waning, it's not lost, but it's waning. So, and then we come back and hear, and then it's reassuring. It's like a shelter.
Yeah. Well, I come here also to hear, it's just it's necessary. It's important. It's wonderful, Yeah. And I feel, especially because during the day, I think all of us associate with different, we have our lives, and with people. They're not all like, they're in the world and you're listening to Facebook, what's going on and all these vibrations. This is so refreshing, and the Lord comes here to give us that transcendental association. So it gets really impressed on us. Yeah. And our life, because otherwise we're going, it's like a diving suit, so you can go in the world,
Yeah.
Yeah, read this, Punny.
It's from Johan. It's also with a diamond. It looks just as a normal stone, but when it is cut and cleaned, we can see it's a diamond. So before we come and listen to you, we were as this diamond. But you start to work on us and cut all the wrong things on us, and now we are a diamond.
Yeah, and I don't even see like I'm doing it. I'm being cut also. We're being cut. We're both, all of us are being purified. It's great. It's wonderful. People don't know how this really works usually because they don't understand. The sound, it's is purifying everybody. Yeah. I love it, man. I love this process. That's how false ego is you think, oh, I'm really such a great guru, man. look at these, look at my following. They're doing so good because I'm preaching. Yeah. But no, the real situation is being used and uplifted by Krishna. I mean, that's what with the chanting, I could sit here and chant. I mean, the Lord has done that. I've chanted and felt dry and nothing happens. And the Lord showed me, because sometimes I think, oh, yeah. And the Lord said, I'll show you. And I said, chant all, and if they don't appear, man, no show. It's really a no show. These guys say, sorry, we're no show. We don't no show. Because usually it's a no show. The Lord ain't. And with Radha and Krishna are not dancing in their heart. Until they do, nothing much is going to go on but a bunch of rules, regulations, varnashram, and a lot of shame and guilt if you don't follow strictly, especially if you eat onions. Ass noodles. Go ahead there.
Sim has a question.
Okay, read the question. Read the question.
Yeah. Okay, internal and external. What kind of rules are there for the inner realizations?
Ooh, great. Yeah. Okay, here's the rule. Okay. The whole goal of life here is to be ruled by loving devotion to Krishna, devotion to God. Okay, that's the rule. Now, that, in other words, that's the ultimate goal, is to be ruled by devotion to Krishna, because everything comes from that rasa dance. Okay, now to get there, here's the rule. Come to Sadhu Sangha, listen to these messages regularly, and then trust your heart, your purified heart, and just, come and regularly associate with devotees like this and learn from them, because there are a lot of messages being shared here. They're done under the inspiration of the Holy Spirit of Bhakti, man, and so listen to those things and it'll purify your consciousness, wash it, and very soon the waves of this Bhakti will begin to come. You'll start to feel God's presence. That's, the Lord starts to awaken, and you become aware that you have a soul and it has a relationship with that Supreme Lord. See? And then you just start chanting or hearing, and you feel God's presence really close to you, engaging in devotional service. And sometimes even when you're not even thinking, you'll just start feeling God around you. Yeah, just because you have faith in real devotees and you give a little time for association. So that's the rule. See, very easy, a lot easier than these other rules. You got they take a lot of work. You got to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and Prabhupada have a program. Get up 3 o'clock in the morning, do the Mangal Artik and this Artik and that Artik, and then do your whole day. Never forget Krishna. You always go Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. I mean, it's a lot of work, man. This is easy, even if you come irregularly, and but your heart is here, you'll see you'll get more protection than a lot of these devotees, always trying to attain that protection. The Lord saying, oh, well, you just a little faith in my devotee and his preaching, that I'm actually here in my Shuddha Bhakti form. You have some faith in that? Oh, I'm going to give you more than I give to those big sannyasis with big titles and big followings, simply because they don't believe where I'm really working, and you do. I'm going to show you that this is more powerful. So these are the rules, like this. Understand that this is the more powerful rule than following a zillion rules and regulations and not being favorable to this preaching. This preaching is here to deliver people. I don't care who you are. If you develop faith, you're a waitress, a lousy housewife, or a puffed up Brahmin like Pani used to be, doesn't matter. He's here. He believes in this. And noodles and onion eater, don't care, no matter. You'll feel delivered. You lose your guilt, your shame, all that stuff. You'll feel God saying, this is my beloved son, Pani, who I'm well pleased. See, simply for that. And you don't believe me? Come regularly and you'll see that it works. Even the ungrateful, they come here, they get something, and then they leave. Okay, it doesn't matter. The Lord gave them something. They'll never forget that. Go ahead. there, Lalita. Say what you want.
Yeah, that's what Krishna said. He doesn't say just follow the rules. It's just surrender unto me. Me, who is me? Sat, Sit, and Ananda that you see in my devotee, that's me.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah. He even says, when you're ready to be delivered, the Lord, see, the Lord, you surrender to me. Okay, well, hey, man, the spiritual master, if they're really the spiritual master, man, that's the me. Because they're going to give you that me. They're going to show you that ecstasy, which is the big me. Okay, it's coming through a little, the little me, which is the Lord. If you got a real bona fide spiritual master, the Lord's saying, hey, man, that's me. I'm coming, that devotee, surrender to me. I surrender to that devotee. You want the real big me? You got to come through the door. That was Jesus, man. That's any bona fide guru. The Lord said, hey, man, this is my flute. Anybody attracted? Whoever does become attracted. See, and that's the principle. The residents of Vrindavan very attracted to that flute. But the flute is the devotee, man. It's an instrument, right? Instrument is instrument. They may play a song. They may speak a lecture. They may play an instrument. They may dance. The Lord is using them to deliver people in different ways. So that's the essence, man. If you can figure that out, then you've got the whole thing cracked, whipped. Maya whipped. Maya's whipped. They all said, "Oh, I ain't touching that devotee there." They listen to the Lord's. Maya has no jurisdiction here. I'm sorry, man. She got no power. She knows it too. Hey, ask Yamaraj. You go read Yamaraj. Hey, don't touch don't even touch the Ajamil, who just chanted one name, calling for his son. Look at with the power of the kind of bhakti here. You think if he said, don't even go near devotees like that, you think he's going to come around or judge what's going on? Nothing's out of his jurisdiction, my friends. Even he likes to hear talks. All devotees like to hear the truth spoken as it is again and again and again. It's just like that because they're pleasing the Lord. The Lord likes to hear as it is truth. It's so rarely spoken in this world. It's in the books, but nobody can speak it. They speak something different. They have forked tongue. Hypocrisy. Anything else there? We ever need to read? Let's see. Okay. Lousy wife, that's me. It's so Noodle says a lousy wife. She identified with that, huh? Have you been saying your wife is lousy there? Did she got a complex now there, buddy?
I saw her being lousy before because I was very strictly following things, and she wouldn't. So I would
I see.
I would call her lousy and drag her through the whole thing.
Oh, yeah, she wouldn't follow. She ate the onions anyway. Hey, you're not supposed to eat onions. Don't you know that? Come on, man. Let me make you feel guilty. Okay, here, let me read some more here.
Guru Maharaj, about the repetition thing that you said, I mean, the devotees actually relish when they keep repeating this truth. I can relate to that in a way that when I did not actually come in a surrendered mood like before, when it was challenging, trying to figure things out, I used to feel this repetition a bit burdensome, to be honest. But now I kind of like it when I hear the same thing over and over again. It doesn't look like the same thing. It actually looks like it's getting deeper and clearer when I hear the same thing, It is a different effect, the same message, but different effect.
Yeah, it's from this angle, that angle, all that, yeah. And you can see in the verses, often the verses are saying the same thing again and again and again,
When we get upside down and it's always the same truth.
Yeah. Because the guru bhakti is the foundation of everything. Because as soon as you fall off that, you really fall off the wagon, man. You literally do. That's what I see. The people leave here, and then they think, "Oh, I'm going to go on my own now," and everything, and they lose the. See, if you don't follow the principle, because by equal faith in Guru and Krishna, the purports of the Vedas are revealed. I see this over and over again. You see, they leave Shiksha Guru, and then they don't have the right purport. You saw that with Mahavir, wrong purport, and you wonder, why are you thinking like that? Well, that's what happens. Without you got it's all by the book. See, and you got to act according to the book. See, the book is transcendental. It's not. It's the path. The book and the devotee is the path. So the devotee represents the path that you're reading in the map book. You see, and as soon as you go off the book and you think, oh, here I got a new way. Thank you for the help you did me, all this stuff. But now I'm going to go on my own, and I don't need you anymore. Now you're off the book. See, and the proof is when I hear statements like you told me that you heard, go off, and all of a sudden you have the wrong understanding. And they call you a fool, a person that has ecstatic devotion. That is so inconclusive. Person chanting Hare Krishna in ecstasy every friggin' day and laughing and crying, and you think they're a fool? That is a direct slight against Krishna. It really is, and Radha. And you're worshiping. That's the hypocrisy. And they have to get over that. Otherwise, they're fallen. I'm sorry, man. You're fallen. You're taking another birth. Guaranteed. Mahavirya. If you don't figure this out, you're taking another birth because you directly slighted Radha and Krishna, who you're worshiping. That's hypocrisy. And that's how you find out you're doing that. People don't know they're contaminated. You know why? Because there's not a living devotee chanting Hare Krishna in ecstasy like Lalita. And then, because if you slight them, that means your realization of the real divine couple is not real. You got some speculations. You're fallen. You're a fallen soul until you can recognize Shuddha Bhakti. And that's our mission, man. I'm going after all of you guys, all of you. Brahmins too. I have a goal, man. I'm going for it right now. I'm going to get you guys to understand this. You criticize ecstatic devotees that you can see with your own eyes, chanting Hare Krishna in ecstasy of laughing and crying, choking up sincerely every day. Okay? Then I show you, point your nose right in the book, chapter 23 of Madhya Lila. The devotees who have prema, sometimes they laugh, sometimes they cry, choke up, all kinds of wonderful symptoms, jump around, dance, and if you criticize them, you're criticizing the ones you're worshiping. And that is the truth, man. And people don't know. They can't get over this hypocrisy until they acknowledge that. Say, oh, wow, I did a big mistake. Gohar is pointing this out to me, and it's in the book and everything. Otherwise, and if you don't accept, think, how dare he say this? No, it's not like this. You're just an illusion. Take another birth. You'll figure it out. One or two more, and you'll get it. Hey, man, my bhakti remains because I acknowledge bhakti. I see a devotee that has real bhakti and everything. Hey, man, I'll kiss her. I told her I'd kiss her feet. If he won't kiss your feet, that means he's in Maya, illusion. Can you imagine? I get faulted by that Tim Lee guy. Let's name some names. He said, "Gar, look, he's kissing feet." Not just any feet, man. I'm kissing feet of devotees who have ecstatic devotion. I'm kissing God's feet directly because they've chosen. He's chosen her. He's accepted her. He lives in her body. He accepted her body. Why wouldn't I want to kiss God's feet, man? This is scriptural. And if you don't, Tim Lee, you are an illusion, man. You're preaching the wrong thing. These guys are little children, man. They don't know conclusive truth. How dare he put pictures? Look at Gar, he's kissing feet. Darn right I am. Kissing the right feet. God's living in their body. What's wrong with that, man? I'll do it publicly for all of ISKCON gurus if you want. I don't care if the whole world says, hey, laugh, cry. I know the truth, and I'm teaching the truth. And those who have some intelligence will know I'm saying this right.
Actually, Maharaj, Noodles and I, we had an evening discussion about this.
Oh, really?
And yeah, and I was thinking that on Radhashtami, it's one day in a whole year, devotees are eagerly waiting just to have a darshan of feet of Radharani.
Yeah.
And I was thinking every day here we have devotees where she's coming, and we can see them. So why would they fault find with kissing their feet while they themselves are eagerly waiting to have just a glimpse of it one day in a year? And it just doesn't seem logical to me.
Yeah, and they don't even see it. They see it but don't see it because they don't see the exit. They need see the devotee. You want to see. I mean, how did people know what Radha's qualities were until Lord Chaitanya came and exhibited them? He had to show. That's why they say, oh, he was a combination of Radha and Krishna. He was calling out Krishna in her mood, and relishing that relationship because of the depth of his love for Krishna. You could see all her symptoms manifested, that nobody even seen it even in the scriptures, because a living example. Same thing. People don't know where bhakti is unless you see it on a devotee's person. That's the whole problem now. They don't acknowledge because, our gurus aren't showing that. So therefore, that's wrong. Well, they don't even have it. There are no shows. And a lot of if a guru is a little honest, they say, of course I don't have prema. Prema that's many lifetimes. Oh, prema is such a high thing. I have to do a lot of austere. See, always the wrong path. That's the problem. They don't know the right path was what I just read. Come through Srivas, a real devotee, and very easily you get. Don't gain power through your austerities and big trying to attain Krishna. No, come through the devotee like you did. He got spontaneously, he started to become ecstatic. All he did was come through the devotee. Can you imagine? And then he became an internal associate of Lord. And then the Lord uses him to teach the sannyasis, don't try to gain power by your austerities, because you get a big false ego. I've seen this so many times. As soon as a person was a brahmachari, and then they get sannyastic, oh my God, did the false ego just shot up like a rocket, man. I had some friends, and all of a sudden, who are you? I'm sannyas now. They can't help it. Without pure bhakti, this devotion, you got to relish some taste. And you get a stick and a nice orange thing and some little brahmacharis to collect for you. You don't think you're going to get a false ego? Come on, man. You got to automatically, oh, Gurudev, please, oh, give me mercy. Oh, sure, I will just, yes, my little peons out there. But, I seen it with my own eyes when I was in the Narayan Raj group. As soon as I had friends as brahmacharis, as soon as they got the stick, all of a sudden they changed. And not for the better. I never changed because I was just relishing bhakti. And I just lost it in the group because it was all emphasis, even though it's Raganuga, they say, Raganuga Bhakti, it was all this emphasis on rules, regulation, and much more than ISKCON. Hard austerities, and the more austere you are. And I kind of got into it because I used to get up early in the morning. I was in Vrindavan, and there was a brahmachari that lived next door to me, and he's very competitive. And I just got up early and chanted just naturally, and he would get up early now. He never, and then he would chant it like I would chant a lot, and he would, it was like this competition thing.
Children.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So, yeah. So anyway, I feel very happy to be able to, preach this stuff and people are listening. This is good and they're getting in. That's proof that I'm not preaching bullshit because people are getting the result. That it makes sense then why Prabhupada said you do more of this, because it's getting people to awaken their bhakti. So he encouraged me when it came in 1996. And now, it's great because I just tell you what I'm seeing, what the Lord's showing me from all this crazy ecstatic worship, man. It's wonderful. And then people feel, wow, this is great. Yeah, I know. I live on this. I live on these realizations. Oh, it's my food. Yeah. So, Pani, why don't you read something?
Yes.
Whatever you want to read,
Shall I read Chaitanya Bhagavat?
if you like.
Oh, yeah.
You feeling any better, Lalita?
A little bit, but I had bad blood tests, so I will talk to you.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'll give you a call soon.
Actually, I will read The Light of the Bhagavat. I used to love this book with
Oh, okay.
all the Chinese artist pictures. I used to love them.
Yeah. Good.
Okay, so I'm reading text 11. I just randomly chose.
Can you repeat where you're reading? Sorry.
I'm reading The Light of Bhagavata. Light of the Bhagavad.
I don't think you got that book there, Lalita.
Okay.
So text 11. In the rainy season, when the rivers swell and rush to the ocean, and as the wind blows the waves about, the ocean appears to be agitated. Similarly, if a person engaged in the mystic yoga process is not very advanced in spiritual life, he can be affected by the modes of nature and thus will be agitated by the sex impulse.
Yeah, and that's not necessarily, I'm sorry, but that's not necessarily true. Because a person might be a sannyas and maybe renounce, and if you're a real devotee, because of your renunciation and all that stuff, fine. But if you're a householder, that will be there. Why not? It's part of the body. It's like saying, well, if a person is advanced and spiritual, they'll never be hungry. Well, if you never get hungry, you're going to die. You'll never procreate. The Lord isn't like that. The gopis, they had marriages, they had sex, they had children, they had all these things, and they still had love of Krishna. But Prabhupada and sannyasis, sometimes they have that preaching from that because they're sannyasis and they preach like that. Yeah. I preach kind of the whole thing. I look at, okay, what really happened in Vrindavan and all that. This one problem is people think, you got to be completely free of all material impulses, but you got a body, man. I'm sorry. That's the whole problem. There's too much of that belief. And then the people trying to imitate that, and they become hypocrites and liars and cheaters, because it's not the way it shows up. We got Vrindavan. It's right there. It's very sad. The gopis, they had the gopis on the highest ras. They had husbands. They had sex. They had children. They had all of that. And that happens here. Look, we have married people. They have some. Look at Lalita. She's married. She has that. She's had sex before, and she still has ecstatic devotion. See? So it's not, again, even Lord Chaitanya taught, don't try to gain power by austerities and renunciation and all that. Gain power by the loving service of the Lord. And we're teaching how to get there very quickly. It's here. You come here, you're going to get that result. You just see, activities bear result. If you do fruitive activities, they get a fruitive result. If you do this devotional activity being taught here, you're going to have a devotional result. And that's love of God. Okay? Increasing progress in the path of love of God. Some will get it really fast, some gradually. Just depends how the flowers grow. The Lord knows in the heart. So to me, this is practical, and I'm not saying anything that's not really the essence. And I prove it, show you, well, Vrindavan, what about them? Why do they get love of God if you got to be a sannyasi to get it? This is the whole thing. People, they won't listen here because Gohari doesn't have a sannyas stick, But what sannyasis can tell you the essence of truth? It's not dependent on what you eat or what you don't eat, really, this path. And when you're ready to be delivered, that's why I don't care. People come here, they got waitresses, new people, never had a picture of Krishna, but look at what comes out of their mouths because of their heart, sincere. Look at tax collector Saint Matthew, became a saint. And he was, back then, tax collectors were despicable. I mean, really bad. Orgies, all kinds of stuff. They, do kind of weird thing. And he became a saint just because he heard from Jesus and liked Jesus. Okay? When you like a devotee, you like to be with them. That means, oh, you become friends with a devotee. That's like becoming friends with Krishna. You just get it is becoming friends with Krishna. You become friends with a devotee. That's why, all these truths, those who claim to be my direct devotees are not my devotees. Those who are the devotees of my devotees, like friends of my devotees, disciples of my devotees, are my real devotees. Okay? So I see it over and over again. Why do you think Lalita has all that bhakti, or Johan also? You see, it's in their mood, it's in their attitude, it's in their preaching.
Yeah.
See, you can tell if you're pleasing Krishna. See, because that's the reward, is pure devotion, pure love of God, increasing more and more. So this is it's not fruit of result, it's a devotional result from following this path being preached here. Yeah. If you don't follow this path being preached here, you don't get it. You get a different result because you can only preach what you are. See, if you're not transcendental to the modes of nature, you can't preach a path that is transcendental to the modes of nature. That's why you don't see this result that people get here anywhere else. Or if they're getting this result, that means these qualifications are there also. You'll see people getting love of God, devotion, ecstasy, and all that stuff. Have you seen it anywhere, Pani? I'm curious.
Yeah, I've seen fake ones though, because how I can tell fake ones is also because of your preaching. I came across a video of someone who's just crying and doing all that. Then I thought, is this real? But when they started speaking, I didn't find the same message as yours. That's how I know it's fake.
Yeah, it's sometimes sentimental, emotional. I've seen the same thing. Yeah, one guy was telling me, he says, I really like your preaching because it's very ecstatic. And then he showed this other person who was ecstatic. And I listened to the person, and he's a guru actually and everything, very strict, or used to be, I'm not sure. And I looked and analyzed, and then I heard what he was saying and preaching. And I thought, he's also, they're trying to get it that way by austerities and by, renunciations and all that. And they want it so badly, and they just kind of, it's almost like they do want it so bad, but they can't really get it. So that something comes, like they say, oh, nitai, 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 and it's so fake, it's not real.
Sentimental tears sometimes.
Sentimental, yeah, yes, and then, but what comes out of their mouth is it's always big austerity stuff, and just inconclusive and not the essence. Okay? Like a lot of people say, well, if I go and live and just, the real essence is to go and live in Mayapur or Ekachakra, and then I'll get the mercy that way. But that's not the essence, because, the essence is what Krishna teaches. Krishna says, my devotees are virtual places of pilgrimage. My holy places purify after a long time. They purify just by being seen. That's so I always emphasize the essence of truth, so people can get there quick, because that's available. See, that kind of purification is here. I mean, many people have went to the holy dhams and all that. They don't get this result because this is what the book Bhagavat. But the ones who don't get it, they preach again the not the essence yet. They also need this shiksha.
This is the final touch, Guru Maharaj. The final touch is
yeah.
by
See, as it is. That's why you see Prabhupada kept writing. He says it a lot. As it is. As it is. You got to really get it as it is. Yeah, go ahead.
The mountains, although being struck by torrents of rain during the rainy season, are not shaken, just as those whose hearts are dedicated to the transcendental personality of Godhead are never disturbed, even when harassed by great misfortune.
Yeah, I mean, that's how you basically tell, is you become fearless. The deeper you're in this transcendental state, you feel like people will criticize, like Krishna protects you. Go ahead. What?
Deep faith makes fearless.
Yeah, a deep experience too. You got to relish these communion with God, and then He takes everything on His back. You could feel, you feel protected. Yeah. That's why Japa Bhakti is where it's all going. That's why this preaching is good now, because this is the time people, the Lord is revealing, hey man, He's showing, I bet the masses are going to start thinking, these are demons that are ruling me. Why am I listening to them? They're not trustworthy. They're lying. I mean, it's becoming more and more apparent. A lot of people are distrusting the government. Like you were saying, well, we always knew the government was corrupt in India,
Yeah.
But in America, we never, I never even thought, you think, well, they're doing, but now they're just like, oh man. I was watching, even in the music videos, because it comes across my Facebook page, Madonna. I can't believe it. Madonna, like, oh, Madonna, the singer, right? Doing music videos, wearing red and black, really looking like a devil, devil thing. And then the horns, the devil's horns and all the people. Oh my, I can't believe it. And I see this over. I was watching this movie with Dwayne, the guy that did the Tooth Fairy thing. Everybody think, oh, he's such a good guy and everything. And in the movie, the lady, one of the actors put up their hand, and they had the Illuminati eye in there saying, hey man, we're here too. We're here in all the movies. We're in all the thing, in Madonna's, in all these music videos now. They're all coming. It's all coming out. The evil that's everywhere now. And the politicians are showing it. Look, draconian things. So very. It's. This is the time of revelation. Obviously. It's kind of fascinating. I see. Wow. Evil's everywhere. Evil doesn't bother me. Just like the good doesn't bother. Good, evil, it's just like it's all superficial. It's covered. You become indifferent to good and evil. Yeah. I'm just thinking, hey, who will listen over here? Yeah. Any evil personality? You listen? Oh, great, man! You're going to get a great result, devotional result. See, in the kingdom of God, it says in Brihad Bhagavatamrita, there are the demigods and the demons in there. Whoever will listen to a devotee gets in. You see, why is Prahlad preaching in a demoniac kingdom? If only the good people can get in. Huh? Whoever would listen to him, they'd get into the kingdom. That's the same. The door is the devotees preaching. They're empowered by the Lord. Anybody, I'm telling you, man, anybody coming here and believes this preaching, and not just blindly, just come and listen, man. Just see if God is not using this fool. Come and see if this stuff coming through here is not better than anything you've heard out there. The essence of if it's not different and unique, then these guys, oh, this is evil. Oh, this is good, or the hypocrites, or the fighting thing. See if this is not a transcendental message. I mean, you'll start to see this is very different here. Very different mood, very much like how, I'm looking myself and I think this is like God is really here, using this body here to speak to people, like his mood, like his magnanimity, munificence, like, hey man, anybody, you can all come into the kingdom if you just come here, associate with these fantastic devotees we have a fantastic devotional community. Just come, just hang out with us and make friends. I mean, isn't that Vrindavan? Are people just friendly with Krishna? Well, hey man, Krishna's here. This is new Vrindavan. Come here, hang out with the devotees, and associate, and all of a sudden, spontaneously, things will come. Realizations, It's like, Janaki knows, I'm in the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya. She knows it. He's not fearless, doesn't, she says, you talk to people. Now it just comes out. They say, wow, you really look different now. Yeah, because what's going on here is very different. Everybody's being kind of pelted by this time, It's why in religion, if you're not strong in Christ or really in Krishna, this devotion, the Lord, you're going to be like, wow, and that's why, people are succumbing to this. Oh, it's heavy now.
Yeah. It's a mass, psychosis. From
mass, you saw that one, yeah, that's good. Yeah, you can see it's a mass delusion.
Yeah.
And this thing, it's like illogical. Like, for example, the guys they say are anti this. They say, you guys are killing us. You need to do this because otherwise we're going to get infected. What is it? I thought you took that. That's so. And it's the healthy people going to infect. They're not, no problem. But why are these people that have taken that? Why are you worried if you're immune? What is going on? But you're not. See, it's all bullshit. It's all illogical. It doesn't even make any sense. And people believe, oh, yeah, they're going to affect us. And we're taking that. And now you're still going to affect. Oh, really? And it's the healthy man. I haven't even had a cold since this all started. Not even a friggin' cold. And I hear, here it is freaking out, and I'm going down the street, if there was a real pandemic, where are the people dropping down like flies? All I see is the fear, the sirens going, I think they're just going around. They say, hey, go to put the siren on, I don't even hear any sirens. It was only in UK, here, just everybody looks fine. The ones who look really unhealthy are the ones still going around with that. Then they walk around like zombies, so looking so unhealthy. And the ones that, where's all this big thing? The hospitals are filling up. I was all this bullshit lies. You go to the hospital, they say, oh, there's nobody here's there. They're understaffed. They're going out of business. Oh man, it's just, anyway, that's what's going on. Sadhu Sangha, best way to get out of that crap. Go ahead, read some more.
In the rainy season, some of the roads are not frequently used and become covered with long grass, and thus it becomes very difficult to see the road. Similarly, in this age, the transcendental scriptures are not properly studied by the Brahmanas. Being covered by the effects of time, the scriptures are practically lost, and it becomes very difficult to understand or follow them.
Yeah, and see this not studied by the Brahmins. We're going for something much deeper. We're not. This is not junk change. This Brahmin thing, man. Yeah, they don't study the Brahmins, and it's because the Brahmins will give you a bunch of rules, right? See, so we're this is Kali Yuga. This is a special Kali Yuga. Lord Chaitanya came here to give devotion, even to Brahmins, and usually the lower classes will take it first. Just let's cut to the chase, man. Study the scriptures, listen to his empowered devotees, and they'll tell you the essence of the scriptures, and not like now. Here, I'm just telling you the essence. Don't forget about. I'm not going to give you a bunch of rules because I studied the Vedas really nice and I know to follow the rules nicely and spend my whole life doing austerities and all that. When actually Vedavyasa was not satisfied, and even these if you read those sages went to Sutta Goswami, said, "Listen, we don't want to spend all our lives trying to follow the Vedas properly." And all that energy and austerities and see all that. Give us a quick way to do it. Quick way to realize God. Yeah, and always the same thing. Listen to the essence of the truth from a devotee. Okay? Now's that time for that. Otherwise, like Prabhupada, getting things going, writing the books, just setting the stage for this. See? Otherwise, okay, you're writing the Bhagavatam with all these confidential conclusions, and then the preaching is continually Varnashram Dharma, which Vedavyas, he wrote the book of Varnashram Dharma, and then he wrote Bhagavatam with the confidential truths so that people can go beyond Varnashram Dharma, beyond the regulations, regulative devotional, and go into more spontaneous devotion. See? Awakening. And that comes by hearing from a Shukadev Goswami. Shukadev was what? In essence, a person used by the Transcendental Lord to give transcendental experience to those who heard from him. See? By preaching the confidential message of the Bhagavatam. See? Otherwise, it's like Bhakti Vinod Thakur said, the real acharyas, they ascertain the confidential truth and keep it for themselves. And then tell you a bunch of, follow morality, do this good rule, that rule, regular. And I keep this. I'm a no-show. This is what the acharyas, he said, they usually do that. That's what they were doing. That's what he did. He kept it all for himself and wrote it in the books. See? Wrote it all in the books, knowing that most people really need, so there's no room for that now, but he put it in the books for the future. Okay? For now. Because look, people are listening. People are getting it. People are giving respect to this preaching, which is beyond just the external bhakti. Okay? Because that's why Lord Chaitanya came, is to bring us beyond external bhakti. That's the whole purpose of his descent. And now's the time for revival. Why should, okay, if you want to hear external bhakti, that's all going on out there. But this is rare. This is great. Yeah. Go ahead, read on.
The lightning becomes unsteady in its friendship, failing to remain faithfully in any of the clouds. Although they are the friends of the entire world, just as lusty women don't remain steady in the company of men who possess excellent qualities. In the midst of the thunder, in the cloudy sky, there appears a rainbow that has no string. Its appearance is compared to the appearance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead or his servants in the midst of the material atmosphere. At night, by the grace of the moonlight, the clouds in the sky can be seen moving. Yet the moon itself also appears to be moving, just as a living being appears to be moving because of false identification with matter. When the clouds appear in the sky, the peacock begins to dance in ecstasy. As the sincere soul becomes overwhelmed with joy on the appearance of a saint at his house.
Yeah, if you're really of that heart, then you will like to see the real devotees. You feel happy. But if you're not, you won't like these real saints, those who have God actually awakened in their heart. See, and no matter what you are, I remember just going around chanting in Mayapur, and you could see on faces, because you're coming to the houses of people. You don't have to go to their house. You just come to the house. The house is the body. You just meet people. And I was amazed. I would go in Mayapur, and there were some of these sannyasis standing around and be chanting with devotees and bringing forth this potency. And I could see some people would really like it. And often people with the devotees, they didn't feel happy at all. I don't know if you noticed that, but I noticed that amongst. So it's all people's hearts, their state of condition. Yeah. But it's good for everybody. Even if you're adverse, that means contamination. But still you're getting purified, because see, devotees, they know that. They know the aversion is a symptom of purification. So they're that much closer just by seeing, even though they don't like it. Yeah. But those who are ready, those, see, like here, we become friendly. They like this, those who come and they like and all this. And the others are adverse, but that's why, still everybody gets purified. What are you going to do? Fire is fire,
They react on us like the karmis react on them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, why don't you read something different now? This is a little bit gets me in a rule and regulation mood.
I'll read the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Maharaj. Madhya Leela.
Okay, great. Oh yeah, good.
Shall I read talks between Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Ramananda Roy?
No. Read something more Leela thing.
The cleansing of Gundicha temple.
Yeah, that's good.
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Shri Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Brinda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Shri Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Brinda. The cleansing of Gundicha temple, chapter 12 of Madhya Leela. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu washed and cleansed the Gundicha temple with his devotees and associates. In this way, he made it as cool and bright as his own heart. And thus he made the temple a befitting place for Lord Sri Krishna to sit.
Read that verse again.
Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu washed and cleansed the Gundicha temple with his devotees and associates. In this way, he made it as cool and bright as his own heart, and thus he made the temple a befitting place for Lord Sri Krishna to sit.
So again, you see, that's the essence. This is what Jesus said, I am the true vine, my Father's the gardener. And so there are people thinking externally, yeah, he did that externally. But this is the internal principle, is the Lord and the Lord's devotees work on a soul and make the heart as clean as the Lord's heart. It's the Lord's heart anyway. It's just dirty and you don't know it. See? So it just needs to be cleaned, and it's cleaned by the devotee and the Lord, by the external manifestation of the super soul, which is the guru, the real guru, and the Lord in the heart. So that's why Jesus said, I'm the vine and my Father's the gardener. See, so that's principle is universal. See, and that's why that works here. If you don't find the true vine, the gardener doesn't awaken. That's why it says, Lord Chaitanya says, yes, it is correct. Those who awaken devotion to Krishna are certainly a spiritual master. See, certainly the vine. See, they awaken the Lord in the heart. See how it's all related? If you just think, oh, I'm just going to go directly to the Lord in the heart, doesn't work. Too much contamination. Oh, I'm going to go through the guru who has not got devotion to Krishna themselves, doesn't work. That's why you don't see these symptoms. You see lots of rules, lots of big ceremonies and all that stuff, because they don't have the vine. The real vine awakens the gardener in the heart, devotion to God. See, but see, it's been lost. People, they don't even believe it. In Vaishnavism, oh, devotion to Krishna, oh, that's so far away. And it is for them. Oh, devotion to Krishna is so close to you. It's coming to you. Kingdom of God is coming to you. And are you one of those out there? Where is it? Where is it? I just told you. The vine awakens the fruit. Yeah, that's it, man. People understand where the vine is. You find the fruit of love of God, man. See, and then you feel it. You see the Lord works in your heart and made very quick progress. You start feeling closer and closer and closer. The Lord's cleaning with the devotee. You see, cleaning, we're sadhu sangha. Get together, talk about Krishna, discuss like this, cleaning from the outside. You feel in the heart, cleaning going on in there. And by, you're a liberated soul. And you help liberate others. Feel empowered. Go around, smile a lot, like Janaki says. God, she was just smiling. People said, wow, you look really great, man. Wow, you must be doing something. See, it's just going around, just beaming from 4-hour classes, Yeah, because the Lord's doing work, right? From the outside and inside. So you got to get both. You got to get the formula by the action of the book Bhagavat. See, that's God. Spoken by the devotee Bhagavat. See, who absorbed in the mellows of devotion. See, these are awakened in others. This is parampara, man. It's always the same message. I think this is what's good is just a little more clear how this all works. That's why we can actually help Christians. They would understand better how this process works. But everybody needs to understand this. Otherwise, if you don't go through the door, you're not going to get into the kingdom. Not in the kingdom, that the devotees live in. We're showing the kingdom in this world. We're here to do that. The prayer of that Jesus taught his disciples, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven, but actually spiritual, more conclusive. Not just heaven. That's, no, spiritual dimension. The Lord wants that to be here. This is the new world order. Here, we're the first fruits. Okay, thy will, that is the will of the Lord. You think he wants with the demons? This is a passing thing. It's like the churning of the ocean of milk. The Lord used the demons and the demigods to do what he wanted to do. Okay. The demons not very smart. They just think they're smart. And the demigods think they're smart. But it's all used by the Lord to do the churning, for he's got a deeper reason. It's always better than what we can think of ourselves. But he gives the first fruit the information and the understanding. And that's what we preach here. Yeah. There's going to be a new world order, man. And it's going to be an awakening of the demigods and the demons. Just like, whoever will come first will get it, because we're all connected to him, And this is a special Kali Yuga. Lord Chaitanya came. So, and so it's already predicted in the Bible and in our Vedas that this is a golden age. And just like lightning flashing from the east, see, the Bible says, lightning flashing from the east to the west, the Lord will come. Not externally, inside. See? Isn't that the most important? You know, the Lord can come out there. Oh, look, there he is. There he is. He's always out there. That wasn't the preaching of Jesus, that kind of thing. He said, no, the Spirit is within you. The Spirit is outside of you right now in my form, but that Spirit's going to be inside you. Awaken. You're going to have a relationship with God. Now, that's important. That's a real, confirmed. That's the coming. You know, if that doesn't come to you, it's always external. You know, all the passive is external. The only reason I teach what I teach and share what I share is because internally realized. I say, oh yeah, I can relate to that. That's happening in my life. That my relationship with God is like that, and I see it in the pastimes. I see all say, yeah, that's how it goes. Yeah, that's the way it is. Yeah, you see, Jesus even said, the Lord is going to be inside you. He's going to be your counselor. See? That's the real second coming. You know, you wonder, the Lord was here. See, Lord God, Jesus was here. And he said, yeah, and now he's going to come again, and that's going to awaken inside you. That isn't that the second coming? The Lord came, he said the Spirit's outside you, and he's going to be within you. Second coming. This is more important. He even said this is more important, because if I don't go, that Spirit won't come to you. The Christians still didn't quite get it. See, that's why we need the Vedas. The Lord Chaitanya's so you can make it really clear. You guys are just first fruits. You know, this is going to come more to the masses now. That's how it works. Subconsciously, people get this. You know, it just takes a lot of preaching. Actually, it just takes a lot. You know, just like the mainstream media are getting the masses by, just the same preaching over and over, repetitive. Well, it's also, we got to preach this vibration out too. Preach all this message, and the vibration goes out, and especially those who hear it first, get it, creates a vibration, emanation, and then more people will get it. See? So, yeah. Go ahead.
All glories to Gaurachandra. All glories to Nityananda. All glories to Advaita Chandra. And all glories to all the devotees of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. All glories to the devotees of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, headed by Srivas Thakur. I beg their powers so that I can properly describe Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu returned from his South Indian tour,
yeah, even from that, the essence of that statements, all glories to the devotees of Lord Chaitanya. People need to make the distinction. What is a real devotee of Lord Chaitanya? Because people are doing, all glories to these devotees of Lord Chaitanya and Radha and Krishna. But are they really devotees? You're saying, no. If you can figure this out, not treat all devotees the same. You need to understand there's the advanced devotees who have their eternal relationship with the Lord and those who don't. People are still glorifying those who don't have their eternal relationship with the Lord. That is idol worship. That is not, it's all glories to the devotees who have real, authentic love of God awakened in their love of Krishna, love of Lord Chaitanya. When you glorify them, see, and teach about that level in this world, that level will appear. That teaching, that understanding. Otherwise, people don't know. It's all, no. The Prabhupada is the same as the God Brothers. Prabhupada is the same as these gurus now. See, people don't know how to actually see things as they are. They don't know what is an advanced devotee and what is a neophyte. Until love of God awakens in your heart, you're still a neophyte. You're not awakened. I don't care how much knowledge, how big your head is filled with knowledge and titles. Doesn't matter, man. Are you spiritually awakened? Has Lord revealed himself to you? Has pure love awakened in your heart for God? If not, you're still more or less a neophyte. Just have a little more knowledge and memorizations, but you don't know what the Spirit is. And therefore, you don't know who God is. That's why, hey man, we're testing the world. People can come with their big titles and everything, but you don't recognize what's going on here. You don't know the Lord. You only know him in his external manifestation. Lord is coming here every day. I give always bhakti. Oh wow, God is coming here. Radha's coming. Krishna's coming. If people can't acknowledge this, you don't know the Lord who you're worshiping, because he's here every day, man. He gives me when you see a devotee saying, Lord Chaitanya, Radha and Krishna, you're my life and soul. Well, there'll be symptoms, because it's really true. It gives them life, and that life manifests in their bodies, man, in the form of all these holy symptoms. Otherwise, you don't know the Lord yet. You're not awakened. These distinctions need to be made. Even the simple thing, all glories to the devotees of Lord Chaitanya. Yeah. You come here, we'll teach you what is a devotee of Lord Chaitanya. They have symptoms. Their life and soul is this ecstatic worship, and that's God. That's Radha. That's Krishna. These revelations and realizing is their life. It gives them energy. It gives them motivation to move about in this world. Otherwise, what is the point? It's all illusion to them. I mean, what is the point of moving about in this world except to get a little exercise? If people, unless you're doing some devotional activity, it's all false. It's all temporary illusion. People running around doing nothing of any consequence. Demons fighting demigods, demigods fighting demons. No, that's no life for devotees. No, this is here you come here, you're going to get this life, man. You're going to feel this life. It's different than the life of these demigods. The words, they're fighting each other. You got these politicians and they're preaching their hypocrisy. Oh, look at me, and their heart is fierce. I'm out to get you, man. I'm out to really, I'm gonna and get rid of you because we got too many people here and you guys are useless eaters. Oh, but you got that sound vibration, very hypocritical. And you got the guys fighting it. Oh, no, we want everything back to the normal, and it's the pastimes and the material energy. It doesn't give life to devotees. This truth is life. See, ecstatic worship is life. See, that's the message here. See, thy will be done is what you see here. The will of God, the will of Krishna and Lord Chaitanya is to bring their pastimes from the transcendental world back here again, like they did in Vrindavan. And this is the new Vrindavan by mantra, by sadhu sangha. If you don't see this kind of thing going on, you haven't seen the truth yet. You don't know what the truth is. And it's not a big show truth. Oh, look at us showing off, looking at our big stick, all big false ego, still coverings over the soul. We got to find real sincere sadhu sangha where people are worshiping the Lord in truth and in ecstasy. Just like Jesus said. Like Lord Chaitanya, he was doing that, worshiping in truth and in ecstasy. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, I had a question. I forgot. So once I was told by a devotee that I asked him, who is a devotee? What's the definition? Then he said, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, anyone who chants Hare Krishna is a devotee. And I found so many of them chanting Hare Krishna. So are they all devotees? But doesn't sound like from what you explained, right, Maharaj? So what is this?
There's three types of devotees, right? There's the neophyte, and then there's the Majjham, and then there's the Uttam. Yeah, so 3 types of devotees. A neophyte is not awakened yet. See, they're doing really external devotional service. So anybody you could say, yeah, you can give them the benefit. Yeah, you're a devotee. You're chanting the name. But you're not really a devotee. A real devotee has what? Devotion. A real devotion, not just Hare Krishna, and you don't know the Hari part. You hear the Krishna, but you don't realize Krishna because Hari has not manifested in your heart. Devotion has not manifested. Therefore, you can't know Krishna. It's just external. Okay, neophyte. So you got to understand the different levels. Otherwise, you think, oh, it's all the same. They're a devotee Krishna, right? They're chanting. Okay, so let's go worship them. And let's go listen to that neophyte over there because they're devotees of Krishna. This is what basically people are doing now. Okay? Let's go listen to these gurus because they got a big stick and they've been rubber stamped. People can't even tell, are they neophyte, Majjham, or Uttam? They got checklists. Well, I don't know. They study the Vedas and they give a good class and they memorize and, so they're for good. See, you can't tell what is the internal situation. Is this person awakened? See, because if you look at what is a Majjamadikari, they actually have love of God. Many of you are Majjamadikaris, at least. If you have devotion awakening, let's say like River, I'd say that's Majjamadikari. See, she has devotion to Krishna awakening. You could see devotion to Krishna is manifesting in her heart. She has the symptoms of that. Right? See, so there you go. There's Majjham. Yeah, that's better than 1,000 gurus who don't have those symptoms, because now you're getting a real view of the symptoms of a person where God is awakened in their heart. Now, that person is going to have more understanding than a person that could have a big title of guru and have all the clothes and the tilak and the group saying, yo, you're Guru Dev now, but don't have an awakening. See, people don't know see, we're preaching internal bhakti, how to know 3 levels of devotees. See, so that person, love of God is, you can check in the scripture, says those who are Majjham, they have love of God. That's a fact, man. That is literal, not, well, they just got this love, or they're superimposing their material love. No. They have authentic love of God awakened, and the symptoms are there, like in a person like River. Okay. Okay. Now, the Majjamadikari that has that awakening, they don't understand the scriptures that deeply yet. They need more purification. Maybe they get a little more steadiness. See, so yeah, and as it advances, it goes into the more Uttam stage. Okay, where you can teach the essence of scriptures. You look at the scriptures, and it's just obvious what they're saying as they are. I wouldn't say I studied the scriptures per se. I relished them. Each word and everything the Lord shows me. So you live really close to God in revelation and in close to Radha. In extra, you're like part of the family of Vrindavan. So that's the kind of devotee you need to say all glories to, because when you do, you'll feel it. The Lord says, oh, you're glorifying my devotee. Here you go. I'm going to awaken in your heart. That's the secret. If these big gurus with the big titles and the big followings who are not even awakened cannot say all glories and give respect to the preaching of awakened devotees who are preaching ecstatic love of God, what kind of shows you what their position is? They're not very clear. Why go there? You're not going to get clarity there. Not this kind of clarity. Who's ever clarified things like this? This one talk here. I've never heard anybody preach like this. No. They talk about, a Majjamadikari is somebody who has a thread, and they worship the deity. And even, the Prabhupada said that, but no, that's not really the finer detail. See, the detail, because it does say a Majjamadikari has love of God. If you got love of God, you got love of God. See, devotees, we're here to preach literal, conclusive as it is, so people can begin to understand. Otherwise, you're all muddled in your mind. Oh, all devotees are devotees if they chant Hare Krishna. Oh, yeah, okay, well, go worship them then. See how far that gets you. Go listen to their realizations. Let's see if you can get love of God yourself from worshiping them, because it's all the same to you, right? No, that's also a neophyte understanding. Basically, all devotees are the same. Oh, except the neophyte gurus. They're different. No, they're actually everything is weird. The Lord hides until you listen to a real representative, a real associate of Lord Chaitanya. You're not going to understand things clearly. Everything's jumbled up and all that, speculations and all that. Blind people leading blind persons. That's why you come here, you start to understand. It starts to make sense to this. Otherwise, you can't figure it out on your own. The devotees that are more mature in their bhakti are the ones to listen to. Just to me, it's common sense, but a lot of people don't have it. Coverings. A lot of gurus don't have, sannyasis don't have it. See, because they're blinded by the false ego. It blinds you. It's like poking your eyes out. They can't even hear this. I mean, these classes, and I've seen this before. I've heard the Narayan Maharaj group who's supposed to be Raganuga. Okay, fine. You're doing fine. But if they listen to this, they don't like it. Some like it. Some are Narayan Maharaj devotees. In Mayapur, they said, oh, we really like this. Great. You never know. Some people from ISKCON like it. If you're meant, the Lord will inform you that what's going on here is the real deal. Otherwise, you'll just go over your head. Go ahead.
When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu returned from his South Indian tour, Maharaj Pratap Rudra, the king of Orissa, became very anxious to meet him. The king sent a letter from his capital, Kataka, to Sarvabhauma.
Those are the people that will come here. See, the Lord has returned, actually. He's here. Radha and Krishna are here. Lord Chaitanya is here. See, Maharaj Prucha was a real devotee. He was very anxious because the Lord had returned. And that's what I'm saying. Those who are meant to get this, because this is like a revival of that, they will come. The ones he will attract, they will feel it. The Lord will say, yeah, go here, because the Lord has returned. And you'll see it in the anxiousness. Say like, Amy, when she comes here, you can see very anxious. She can't wait to, always wants to come. See that anxiousness to come. That's how you know who are the real devotees. They're anxious. You want to associate with those because they very eagerly chant the holy name. Even see, eagerness is a symptom of attraction. When you're getting attracted, you want more. You're never satisfied. You want more of that. More. Yeah. So yeah. Go ahead.
He's also very eager to receive anyone who comments. I've seen she goes and likes everybody's when they say Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj.
Yeah.
Also eager to receive. That's the way of reception, I feel. When
Yeah, people, you see, they have that anxiousness. They see the Lord has returned in a sense. Maybe you don't know exactly how they should, but inside you feel there's something really good here. Really, this is what I've been looking for. Let me investigate more. Let me go, find out. Because that's true. We're showing, the Lord is showing all of us that he's returned here. Otherwise, there wouldn't be this kind of realization and ecstasy and understanding that no one's preaching. Only if the Lord is here, really here. Radha is really here. Otherwise, if Radha and Krishna are not here, we wouldn't have this kind of preaching. It'd be all external. Just external. Tradition, Prabhupada taught that. We will just continue on with Varnashram Dharma because that's That was the revelation. But the Lord is here, so the deeper revelation is coming. Just like when Jesus, he had a deeper revelation that was coming because God was actually on the planet through him. See, that moved the evolution of the souls to another level. Without that being there, he wasn't really there in the Pharisees. They had the mode of goodness at best manifestation. At best, rules, regulation, fastings, and all that. The same thing here. You can analyze. Well, is the transcendental Lord here? See, again, it's not all the same. Where's the transcendental Lord manifesting? Not just a mode of goodness person. Oh, wow, he's following the rules, regulation. Oh, he's so austere and so. Not only that, Lord, because the Lord is expressing a mode of goodness there. Where is the transcendental manifestation? Where's the uncommon realization that comes from devotion, real bhakti? Where is that? See, that's why I say, well, it's here. Wherever else it is, it would show. But I haven't seen. People say, oh yeah, it was really great. But then when they speak, they don't speak these deep revelations and realizations of bhakti. Go ahead there, Lalita. Oh, I thought you were yeah. Tom, he's looking very... Okay, go ahead, Pani, read some.
The king sent a letter from his capital, Kataka, to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, entreating him to obtain the Lord's permission so that he could go and see him. Replying to king's letter, the Bhattacharya wrote that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had not given his permission. After this, the king wrote him another letter. In this letter, the king requested Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, please appeal to all the devotees associated with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and submit this petition to them on my behalf.
See, this is very intelligent. See, he submitted to one devotee and he didn't get through to the Lord. So he says, well, submit it to all the devotees on my behalf. See? So that's intelligent. I mean, it's like, hey, yeah, get all of them on my side and say, I really want their mercy, so I can see the Lord. See, Maharaj Prataparudra didn't directly petition the Lord because he knew he couldn't do it that way. So he petitioned one, and then the Lord, Sarva said, well, he hasn't agreed. So he petitioned all of them, petitioned before, and so that's intelligence. See, even the same thing works here, Here you come here and you get the mercy of all the devotees here, and then you're guaranteed. You notice that? I remember I seen this practically. I've seen when some new people have come, including yourselves when you first just come. A lot of times, I only want to hear from Gaur Das. Only him. I remember this, Only him. I don't want to listen to anybody else here, but gradually as everybody advanced, it's more like a family. You see, wow, I'm getting from this person that, I'm getting mercy of the Lord through this devotee and that devotee and all that. See, and finding it's attractive. It's family. The Lord will give through this devotee something and that devotee, very valuable. See, that's a symptom of advancement. You get out of the fighting stage. Go ahead, read some more.
If all the devotees associated with the Lord are favorably disposed towards me, they can submit my petition at the lotus feet of the Lord. By the mercy of all the devotees, one can attain the shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. Without his mercy, my kingdom does not appeal to me.
So you don't have to You don't have to give up anything. See, the Lord is the devotee's thinking, if I have your mercy, Lord, then I can live in this world. Whatever, have my food, have my what I need here, or whatever I just natural desires, whatever that is, it'll be pleasing. But I have to have your mercy. See, this is a devotee, a real devotion. And so as a king, see, he was in this position as a king. I think he had more than one wife too. I think he had a lot of wives. Back then they did that stuff. And he had a kingdom, he had money and wealth, and he, it just, yeah, he says, without your mercy, I can't enjoy my kingdom. But with your mercy, I can, befittingly. So we have our different positions. With the mercy of the Lord, we can enjoy our marriages or sannyas or whatever, whatever we are. Doesn't matter. But you need that mercy of the Lord, which comes through, notice, always, why is it always preaching the same doggone thing? Go through the devotees, go through the devotees, go through the devotees. The people say, I harp on this stuff. I'm just, you're reading this stuff. I don't know. It's like they're harping on it. Why is this teaching again and again and again if it's not so important? Because it's the door to bhakti. It's the door so that you can have this intimate, loving relationship with God. So that's the prime important. And then you start to learn. You start to really learn. Otherwise, you haven't learned yet. You don't know the essence. Here, you enter the door, and now you have the Lord is inside you and awake, and you read the scriptures, you chant them out loud, and you feel God's grace growing more and more. See, it's important for you to experience God. Also, that's why the Lord Chaitanya came here, so that we can begin to experience this inner relationship with God. That's why the success here is, are the devotees, or some of them at least, coming to the point of feeling an inner experience of God's transcendental presence. Transcendental presence. Okay? That's the end goal. This relationship from your soul with the Lord. That's the whole purpose of this preaching here, is so that we all can become closer and realize ever increasing transcendental relationship with God. That's what it's all about. What do you think chanting Hare Krishna is about? It's that. Yeah. Go ahead, Bunny. Want to say anything, Tom? No? Okay, go ahead.
By the mercy of all the devotees, one can attain the shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. Without his mercy, my kingdom does not appeal to me. If Gaurahari, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, will not show mercy to me, I shall give up my kingdom, become a mendicant, and beg from door to door.
See, and what is that mercy? I've seen so many devotees say to their gurus, give me mercy, give me mercy, give me mercy. But if you ask them, what is that mercy you want? I don't know, just mercy. No, Maharaj Prataparuja, he knew what kind of mercy he wanted, that love of God that he saw in the worship of Lord Chaitanya. I want that mercy. I want love of God, like the Lord Chaitanya was demonstrating. Yeah, let me go through the devotees to get this love of Krishna, this relationship with God, my soul awakened, so that I can worship the Lord like this. See, that's the mercy you get by going through the devotee. You get Lord Chaitanya. The Lord passes himself through the devotee into your heart, awakened in your heart. Some people think of it as being given, but it's an awakening. It's dormant in the hearts of everybody. So whether you think it's given or it's awakened, it's the same idea, really. It's just, more clear. It's awakened in your heart. It's dormant love of God. Say, right? And say, the scriptures say dormant love of God. So it's dormant there and needs to be awakened. Go ahead. If I pause, just go ahead.
Yeah. I like to think of it as being given as well, Maharaj. It needs to come from a devotee because only a devotee can give it. I feel it that way. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people, yeah. It's splitting hairs. I just say that mainly because one guy tried to fault me because, like Lalita said, she got it from me. Oh, don't think you get somebody can give you love of God. So they split hairs. On this.
If Gaura Hari, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, will not show mercy to me, I shall give up my kingdom, become a mendicant, and beg from door to door. When the Bhattacharya received this letter, he became very anxious. He then took the letter and went to the devotees of the Lord. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya met with all the devotees and described the king's wishes. Then he presented the letter to all of them for inspection. Upon reading the letter, everyone was astonished to see that King Prataprudra had so much devotion for the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The devotees gave their opinion and said, "The Lord will never meet the king, and if we requested him to do so, the Lord would surely feel very unhappy." Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya then said, "We shall go once again to the Lord, but we shall not request him to meet the king. Rather, we shall simply describe the good behavior of the king." Having thus reached a decision, they all went to the place of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. There, although ready to speak, they could not even utter a word.
Oh, just a second. I want to answer some question here. So read this here.
From Shama Gauri. Dear Gurudev, as I see, isn't it a good stage being in the mode of goodness and searching for spirituality to advance to the spiritual level of pure goodness? So
it could be. It could be, but there's no restriction on this. This preaching is very different. This preaching is, if anybody will acknowledge it, you'll get it. So if you're in a mode of goodness, a lot of people in the mode of goodness not listening to this. But if a person even in some other mode comes and takes shelter here, you will get the real shelter. So it's not a requirement, but it may be your path to do that. You know what I mean? It's like some people will go that route, but it's depends. See here, it's depends on the Lord attracting you, whether you're in the mode of goodness or not. You could say Arjuna was in the mode of passion because he was a Kshatriya, but Krishna said, transcend all the modes by surrender to me. So, when you have a bona fide representative of the Lord on this planet, basically you have the Lord through them. They're the door. If you don't go through that door, you don't get the real Lord. You don't get the Shuddha manifestation of God. Does somebody want to say something? I'm sorry.
Yes. When you keep circling in that mode of goodness on that level, then when it becomes a comfort zone or a habit, then it's holding you back. Then you cannot promote to the mode of goodness, the mode of pure goodness, to pure goodness. Oh, I'm so emotional today. I'm sorry. So when some people they keep on circling in this mode of goodness, and it becomes a comfort zone, then it's a restriction. Then they don't want to really get the upgrade.
Well, they don't know there's either anything more or they don't believe it. So it's all is, if you're not open to it, then you stay with as you are, what you are. It's
what I also feel is when listening in to you and in the Sangha, the superficial qualities, the unnecessary qualities, they just disappear at the background, because here is an upgrade quality.
Mm. Yeah, exactly.
So I can find myself, my deep self, my core bhakti. My personal bhakti becomes more purified and more cleansed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah. No, it's good. Yeah, go ahead there.
There is more control behavior in this striving from mode of goodness, less surrender mood. That's what.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, there's more, like control. You think I'm going to control God in that sense. I'm going to control him to come to me because I'm doing this. See, the better way is to follow the path of the real devotees, and they say, well, just surrender here, come and listen here, come develop a relationship with a real bona fide guru, come in that door, and then you'll very easily get Krishna. Others who they follow the mode of goodness, which could be the path of I'm going to attain Krishna by renunciation and austerity. You see, the Lord said, don't go that way. Don't try to gain power over God, basically, that way. Go through the devotee like he did. He went through Srivas. So we preach always the same thing because it's the same truth. It's here again. See, same thing. You come through this door here, you're going to very easily get devotion to Krishna without a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
If you don't, there'll be trouble.
Spontaneity. Sorry. The spontaneity. Then we found our own source, and we don't need anymore this pressure, these rules and regulations. When we found the connection with our own source, it's spontaneous.
Yeah. I mean, rules and regulations, there's some that are good for the body. So why not keep the body? Mode of goodness keeps the body in good health. So there's nothing wrong with being like regulated. Like I have a regulated diet, regulated sleeping, regulated eating. It works for me. It helps my body stay in better shape, regular exercise. See, that's mode of goodness. Because it's a body, to keep the body in the higher mode is better. So everything has its place. Like a lot of people, Christians and also Vaishnavas, like they say, well, Prabhupada said yoga is not spiritual. You don't need it. And the Christians do the same thing. Oh, yoga is of the devil, even. See, so now that's not very seeing things really as they are. Actually, yoga might be good for your body to keep it in good shape. There's nothing wrong with having a good body in good shape so you can serve the Lord better. I remember some pujaris came to that realization and started doing yoga because they were just always in the room, and they were getting all messed up from that. A lot of Radhakund Babajis are going around humped over because they don't care about the body. They all bent over like this. Well, we don't care about the body. Well, I don't know, man. This doesn't, to me, is balance. Yeah, so you got to see everything in its place. Mode of goodness is good for certain things, but it's not, it's not going to, of its own, enlighten you. They're easier. Otherwise, you're trying to attain self-realization by doing yoga practices and all that. It's a lot more trouble, and you probably won't achieve it in this age. Better just the essence is Come through the devotees, come to Sadhu Sangha. It's very easy. Come here, associate. We got ecstatic devotees. God is here. Radha and Krishna are here. Lord Chaitanya is here. The symptoms of them being here is here. Very simple. Come and get darshan of them. Learn what is Shuddha Bhakti just by seeing it. Just by seeing Shuddha Bhakti, man, you learn so much. Could you imagine? Many of these gurus, they go their whole friggin' lives and they've never even seen Shuddha Bhakti. But anybody who comes here, you'll see Shuddha Bhakti. Even though you don't understand it, you see it. And then you listen, you learn, oh, this is Shuddha Bhakti. Oh, this is going on in the spiritual world. Yeah, that's what we're here. Thy will be done and is being done here on earth as it is in the Vaikuntha and Vrindavan. See, didn't Krishna come here with his entourage to show Vrindavan? And Mayapur, he came here and brought it here, right? Well, it must have been important to bring it here. It must be important to bring it here again because it seems people have forgotten. They don't even like these ecstatic symptoms people are seeing every day. You must be important for people to see it. Then we have what was given because it was shown, see, Lord Chaitanya brought Vrindavan again by mantra, by chanting Hare Krishna ecstasy. That's bringing Vrindavan here. Otherwise, you don't see that mood of worship, that mode of worship. So it's important. So if people are going to know what love of God is, what Shuddha Bhakti is, they got to see it again, revived. That's why we're in revival. It's our work or a play. Yeah.
Yes. This revival also is waking up in that level of consciousness. Waking up in that consciousness. So that's why I said it's so important. Where do you want to awaken? On what level? You want to be aware only about the mode of goodness and the body of your health? Okay, but where do you really want to awake? On the level of prema, of pure goodness.
Yeah, and that you got to be awake yourself and not just a talker. People have to see, oh, you got the symptoms of this awakeness, this Shuddha Bhakti level of consciousness. You just got to, if that's what you're preaching. I mean, we're preaching that. We're preaching the love of Radha and Krishna here by demonstration and by the word too, the realization. Very important. Otherwise, people don't know where the path is. They'll say we just have the ecstasy. You just have ecstasy. Oh, these guys, they look at this and they think, wow, that's really crazy. See? But when you have the ecstasy and you have the siddhanta behind it, oh, how can the mind reject it? Okay. So that's what you see, love of God, and you see the siddhanta, this thing, that's glorifying this truth, glorifying and making it clear what is transcendental. People don't know, and gurus don't know, sannyasis don't know. They haven't seen it. It's all no-shows everywhere. Oh, if there's any tear, we'll wipe it, or if or we just infer that we have lots of tears in our closet. But you go and you see my worship, Hare Krishna, a dry example. So where's the Shuddha? Oh yeah, we got it. Yeah, well, what does it look like? Oh no, we don't show that. See, so nobody knows. Nobody knows. Didn't Lord Chaitanya show what Shuddha Bhakti is? Yeah, he did. The devotees did too. They showed the mood and the worship, how it is. But now, 550 years later, even though you read it in the books, people don't know how great it is. If they knew Shuddha Bhakti, how great it is, and the gift they can get by associating with Shuddha Bhaktas and learning the real path from them, they would all be down here. All those Vaishnavas would be down here in a second. The whole problem is they're not clear about how wonderful it is to meet people that chant the holy name with great ecstatic love. They don't know that how important it is. even though the scriptures are glorifying it, simply because they haven't heard this message, this realized message. Real eyes have seen this, or this. See? Or they won't accept it. Okay, well, fine. You get what you accept.
After they arrived at Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's place, the Lord, seeing them, said, "What have you all come here to say? I see that you want to say something, but you do not speak. What is the reason?" Nityananda then said, "We want to tell you something, although we cannot stay without speaking. We are still very much afraid to speak. We want something that may or may not be befitting. The matter is this: unless he sees you..."
Okay, Lalita, you carry on where you left off.
I'm on
Thank you,
verse
Connie.
18 of. I'm on verse 18, Madhya Kanda,
Okay.
chapter 12. Thank you so much, Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it was
I
great.
had a
Thank you.
wonderful dream. I will share. If I have permission, I'll share here, but otherwise, I'll share with you.
Why don't you share it now?
Yeah, I just had it yesterday night. This morning, I woke up to a dream where I saw it was like an old stone walls on both sides, and they were tapering to a television, in front of which there was a person sitting, and it was you. It was, my mind was telling it was you watching it, and there's a nice rose vines around and everything. It was an old, really old place. It seemed really a different time to me, not now. But although the television was there, I don't know how, but me and Brinda, we both walked in. It was outside, like a garden kind of a place.
Yeah.
And you were watching, and I sat really far from you. Like I sat just at the entrance. I was like, I was afraid not to disturb you or whatever, but I was sitting there. You looked at me and then you smiled. Then I came very close, and then I sat close to you. And then we had a class or something after that. I don't remember what the message was, but that's when the dream ended. But you were not looking like you. Um, if I might say, in the dream I got this message. You were really looking like these Jesus kind of a face, with long beard and hair, and you were wearing white robes. You were
Ooh.
wearing white robes, and you were sitting in this nice wooden chair and enjoying your time, and the weather was so pleasant. I just walked in, and then I cannot talk now, but yeah, so I came in, and then I thought I should be seated far from you, but when you smiled, I thought that's the permission for me to come closer, and then I came closer. That's where the dream ended.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Yeah. Yeah. Mm. Yeah. I probably would have something to say about it. I'm a little bit tired though. Again, I woke up a little early. I didn't sleep so well last night. I don't know what happened. It's probably the chemtrails out here. There's a lot of chemicals being dropped down from the sky. The demons are going at gangbusters. They got something they want to accomplish here.
But this train is also driving during the night while you're sleeping. You hear this noise all the time?
No, actually, they stop pretty much and just start about 3 a.m., 3 or 4, when I'm already up.
Oh, luckily.
Yeah. Read a little bit there, Lalita.
I offer my respectful obeisances unto you, Guru Maharaj. All glories to you. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to the Parampara. All glories to Srimati Radharani. And all glories to Krishna. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya. Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Sri Ajita Chandra. Jaya Gora Bhakta Vrinda. After they arrived at Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's place, the Lord, seeing them, said, "What have you all come here to say? I see that you want to say something, but you don't speak. What is the reason?" Nityananda Prabhu then said, "We want to tell you something. Although we cannot stay without speaking, we are still very much afraid to speak. We want to submit before you something that may or may not be befitting. The matter is this: unless he sees you, the king of Orissa will become a mendicant." Nityananda Prabhu continued, "The king has decided to become a mendicant and accept the sign of a mendicant by wearing an ivory earring. He doesn't want to enjoy his kingdom without seeing without seeing the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu." Nityananda Prabhu continued, "The king also expressed his desire to see the moon-like the moon-like face of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. To his eyes' full satisfaction, he would like to raise the lotus feet of the Lord to his heart." Hearing all these statements, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mind was certainly softened, but externally he wished to speak some harsh words. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "I can understand that you all desire to take me to Kataka to see the king." Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued, "What to speak of spiritual advancement, all the people will blaspheme me. And what to speak of all the people, Damodara would chastise me. I shall not meet the king at the request of all the devotees, but I shall do so if Damodara will give his permission." Damodara immediately replied, "My lord, you are the fully independent Supreme Personality of Godhead. And since everything is known to you, you know what is permissible and what is not permissible. I am merely an insignificant Jiva. So what power do I have to give directions to you? By your own personal choice, you will meet with the king. I shall see it. The king is very, very much attached to you." and you are feeling affection and love toward him. Thus I can understand that by virtue of the king's affection for you, you will touch him, although you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and you are completely independent. Still, you are dependent on the love and affection of your devotees. That's your nature. Nityananda Prabhupada said, who is there in the three worlds who can ask you to see the king? Still, isn't it the nature of an attached man to give up his life if he doesn't attain his desired object? For instance, some of the wives of the Brahmanas who were performing sacrifices, they gave up their lives in the presence of their husbands for the sake of Krishna. Nityananda Prabhu then submitted one suggestion for the Lord's consideration. There is a way, he suggested, by which you need not meet the king, but which would enable the king to continue living. If you, out of your mercy, send one of your outward garments to the king would live, hoping to see you sometime in the future. The Lord said, since you are all very learned personalities, whatever you decide, I shall accept. Lord Nityananda Prabhu then obtained an external garment used by the Lord by requesting it from Govinda, and thus Nityananda Prabhu delivered.
You notice how he said, you are all great, very learned personalities. Whatever you say, I shall accept. See? So that's the devotee. Whatever they say, the Lord accepts because they say the right thing.
Yeah.
See? And nobody else says the right thing. See? The Lord won't accept. He accepts through his devotee, a real devotee with real bhakti, because they give you the real conclusion. Yeah. Matter of fact, go back a few verses, about 4 or 5 verses, because I had to go and do things, in the community.
Okay.
There's a lot of good stuff in there,
Yeah.
a lot of deep things.
Okay.
About 4 verses.
Still, isn't it the nature of an attached...
Go back a couple more verses.
Okay. Damodara immediately replied, my Lord, you are the fully independent Supreme Personality of Godhead. Since everything is known to you, you know what is permissible and what is not permissible. I am merely an insignificant jiva, so what power do I have to give directions to you? By your own personal choice, you will meet with the king. I shall see it. The king is very much attached to you, and you are feeling affection and love toward him. Thus I can understand that by virtue of the king's affection for you, you will touch him.
So, yeah, you see right there, you could see the symptoms of a devotee. They have transcendental affection for the Lord. And it's already happened. It's just a pastime to externally. Though there was already there. The devotee has that natural affection because it's awakened in him. It's also in the Lord too. So externally you got that. But even if you didn't see the Lord there, that's happening automatically. You see a devotee in worshiping the Lord with ecstatic devotion. That means there's this mutual exchange. That person is a liberated soul. We have these symptoms in here in our Sangha, devotees worshiping like that. This is the place to be. If you have any, intelligence, which you need to get by hearing from devotees, you can find the real path in this life. They'll tell you as it is. I'm just as it is, man. Look for the devotees who have a transcendental, affectionate relationship with the Lord. You're not going to see Lord Chaitanya coming for another 4,320,000,000 years. You need to find those who have it on the internal basis. You could see, oh yeah, this person has transcendental love for God. Oh, that means, the Lord is there exchanging with that devotee. By virtue of the devotee, they're very learned, naturally very learned personalities. Whatever they say, the Lord accepts. So, you want to be accepted? Well, that's where you got to go. Again, see, Guru Tattva from this angle, that angle, it's always the same teaching. How can we get away from this? It's just every time. It's just in the face all the time. Teaching the same thing. What are these principles? These are the rules. You want to know what kind of rules that we're teaching? These are the subtle rules of how to get love of Radha and Krishna to rule your life, because that is where real freedom is, man. Real freedom is in this relationship with the God's truth, ultimate truth. Yeah. Go ahead, read some more.
Okay. So you will touch him, yeah. Although you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead and you are completely independent, still you are dependent on the on the love and affection of your devotees. That's
So
your
yeah, you see how reciprocal it is. The Lord, from his he likes this. Just like the devotee, devotees are also dependent on the love and affection of the Lord, and the Lord is thinking, I want to get in on the act because I also like to be dependent on the love and affection of my devotee. That gives him life, gives him energy, gives him happiness. So you see, it's like the devotee is a reflection of the love of God, the love of the Lord. You need to see that, otherwise nobody knows. You see how the Lord says, it's your nature to be dependent on the love and affection of your devotee. See, you're dependent, and devotee saying, I'm definitely dependent on the love and affection of the Lord. Without love of Krishna, what is life about? There's no joy in it. That's what Maharaj prayed. He had all this money, all these wives, all this thing, but he knew, hey man, it's the love and affection for God that is my happiness. I'm dependent on it. See, that's what you need. Who is dependent on this special love and affection of God? Where is it? Otherwise, you haven't found real life. That devotee doesn't have real devotion, no real life yet. This is all transcendental. You need to learn these subject matters from those who can relate, have that relationship. Otherwise, who the heck would know? That's why. Go ahead, Tom. What?
Yes, this word permissible, he is the one who permits. And it also means he is the door, yes? So also the devotee is the door. He permits, he gives permission to pass to the next level. He's the door. The devotee is the door. And Lord Chaitanya, he permits.
Yeah, I mean, Vrindavan, if you want to go to Vrindavan, if you see it as a house or a place, a dham, then there's a door to it. You got to go through the door to get into that residence there. The Vrindavan is, that's why, like Jesus said, in my Father's house there are many mansions. Well, each mansion has a key. That is a devotee who has that relationship to what's in the mansion there, that particular mansion. Okay? So that's, there's the mansion of Ayodhya. To go to Ayodhya, you have to find a Ram Bhakta. They have the key to that domain. You want to go to Shiva Loka, you got to find a devotee of Shiva and go through that door. You want to go where Jesus is, you got to go through a real Christian who has the Holy Spirit to enter into that room. See, that mansion, the rooms are all mansions. They're beautiful, they're fantastic. Nothing like them. You want to go to Vrindavan? Like we're here, we're bringing people into the Vrindavan door, which is high class. What's nice about Vrindavan, I just like it there. It's very informal. I like informality. I like the intimacy and closeness of informality. I like a lot of joking. I want to hear God's jokes and not see him as serious, Mr. Vaikunta guy up there on the thing, I like they joking around, that kind of stuff. Comedian, making, saying funny things that are very profound, Yeah. The love of his devotees. Oh yeah, that's what I like. Honey likes it too, I can tell. You remember that movie we watched together when about little Krishna?
Yeah.
He remembers it.
I never had it before, Guru Maharaj. I think your presence was there. And then I was seeing with Guru Maharaj, and then I didn't know what to say. I just cried and I said, please take me back to Vrindavan. It wasn't premeditated at all. Now when I think back, did they really say that?
Yeah, I remember it.
You made me say that. It's like, your energy around you, I think it's just marvelous.
Yeah.
Our true desires, our innermost true desires, which are for our welfare, I think we only realize in this preaching. Otherwise, I think we're lost. Even we don't even know what's our true desire. It's like, so we're all lost.
Well, true desire. See, Lord Chaitanya came here, and he knew that when we get a taste of this, this will be our true desire. It's so great, man. It's so fantastic to worship like this, in this bliss, and this understanding, this relationship, this lifestyle. Oh man, it's wonderful, man. Gets better all the time, And you see people who don't have it, they just stay the same, Even in religion, in Vaidhi, or the world, they just stay more or less. They just snail along. You're like go so fast into deeper levels of consciousness, and it's so tasty and so luscious, and and your intelligence gets better, your realization's deeper. I mean, everything gets like supercharged, man. Your understanding, your knowledge. That's why I'm just itching I want to have a debate, not a debate, just a talk with some of these gurus, see how deep we can go. I want to,
Yeah, it would be great. It would be great to go deep with them.
I want to just hear their questions and comments, or, be interesting.
It would be,
Very lively.
Lively. It'll be lively.
Yeah, I feel this image. Yeah, this image that like there's Radharani and there are some manjaris, some assistants, and they make her very nice with the hair and like this, and they do a makeup, and then it's finished to prepare to prepare her to meet Krishna, and that she's very made up, very nice, and then it's finished, and she is doing like this, and everything mix up, and then spontaneous she goes to Krishna, meaning she wants to be funny. Yes, it's not a matter of being totally perfect, but it's more important to be spontaneous and funny.
Yeah, yeah, it's natural. Yeah, yeah, you don't need any formality. Go ahead there, Lolita. Read some.
Okay. So Nityananda Prabhu then said, "Who is there in the three worlds who can ask you to see the king? Still, isn't it the nature of an attached man to give up his life if he doesn't attain his desired object? For instance, some of the wives of the Brahmanas who were performing sacrifices, they give up their lives in the presence of their husbands for the sake of Krishna." Nityananda Prabhu then submitted one suggestion for the Lord's consideration. There is a way, he suggested, by which you need not meet the king, but which would enable the king to continue living. If you, out of your mercy, sent one of your outward garments to the king, the king would live, hoping to see you sometime in the future. The Lord said, "Since you are all very learned personalities, whatever you decide, I shall accept." Lord Nityananda Prabhu. He then obtained an external garment used by the Lord by requesting it from Govinda. And thus Nityananda Prabhu, he delivered the old cloth to the care of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, and Sarvabhauma sent it to the king. When the king received the old cloth, he began to worship it. Exactly. As he, as he, as he would worship the Lord personally.
Yeah, this outward garment. There's a lot of levels to look at this. You share one level there. How do you see this?
Sending an ecstatic message.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Mhm.
it could be. Outward garment is like, see, the garments devotees use is the garments, what the garments that the devotees were using. So the garment is God Himself. It's like when you're relishing, words of the Lord. Like this, and so the Lord, that's really the outward garment, the garment that the Lord used, and you pass that on. It's full of ecstasy. So the words that the devotees speak, like this, it's like these are garments of the Lord. See, the ecstasies of the devotee, they're in the words and all that. And so we worship that. We worship that by chanting these verses and stuff like this. And then we become ecstatic, just like it's the Lord Himself. The Lord is always there in the glorification of the devotees. See, so Radha and Krishna are the garment for devotees, their glorification. So that's one way to see it.
And another way?
You say the other way. That's all that's.
No, I said the other way. I said the
Right.
other way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was it okay?
Yeah. It's good. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Karuna asked me if I can read each line twice.
Oh,
So,
there
yeah.
you go. Yeah, read each line twice. That's a good idea. I like that.
So, after his returning from his service in South India, Ramananda Raya requested the king to allow him to remain with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. After returning from his service in South India, Ramananda Raya requested the king to allow him to remain with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When Ramananda Raya requested the king to allow him to stay with the Lord, the king immediately gave him permission with great satisfaction. When Ramananda Raya requested the king to allow him to stay with the Lord, the king immediately gave him permission with great satisfaction. As for the king himself, he began to solicit Ramananda Raya to make a meeting arrangement. As for the king himself, he began to solicit Ramananda Raya to make a meeting arrangement. What does it mean, solicit?
Solicit means to I don't know what's a good word for meaning. I don't know how to explain the meaning right now.
Oh.
Solicit, to promote, kind of to ask God. Ask the Lord if you would you mind meeting with the king.
Okay. The king told Ramananda Raya, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very, very, very merciful to you. The king told Ramananda Raya, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very, very merciful to you. Therefore, please solicit my meeting with him without fail. Therefore, please solicit my meeting with him without fail. The king and Ramananda Raya returned together to Jagadharakshetra Puri.
See, the king saw that. Look, the Lord is very favorable to you. You're a devotee. You gotten the mercy. See, so you tell the Lord, that I would also like the mercy. See, by the mercy of the devotees, then this can happen. See, he had great faith in devotees. First, he started with Sarvabhauma, solicited. Then when the tell him, give him that, and then Ramananda Roy took every opportunity with all the devotees. See, without the mercy of the devotees, I cannot see. If you don't have that mood, then you will not see the Lord. See, that's why again, if you don't feel that you're going through the devotees, you will not recognize the Lord. That's the best thing you can learn here, is go through the devotees. Because even with, if you don't have a visible devotee here that's self-realized, you go through these. I'm going through the devotees when I read these books. See, and then if there's a living devotee here who with devotion, like these part of the family, why wouldn't you? That shows you if you won't do that, you're contaminated. You're stuck until you understand. Man, the Lord sent this person. That's the principle Jesus was teaching, man. You got to see, where's the disciplic line? Where do those persons have the manifestation of in them, awakened, manifest in this world? Yeah. Thy will be done on earth on earth as it is in the spiritual world. Where is it on earth as it is in the spiritual dimension? That's where the Lord is working, and only there. If you don't give respect or honor to that place, then you don't get into this spiritual world. They're the door. Like, we're the door for the Vaishnavas here. People don't. If you Vaishnavas in ISKCON, Gaudiya Math, Gaudiya Samaja don't give the respect to this ecstatic preaching, you're not getting in there. You're going to worship another life. I mean, these verses are all teaching these things. If you don't do like Ramananda Roy and go through the real associates of the Lord, and we're teaching all how to recognize associates of the Lord. It's pretty straightforward and pretty simple if you hear in the right place. Otherwise, you're not going to know. People who are not associates of the Lord, I don't care how big their titles are, what kind of position they have in this world as being religious or whatever. If they're not an associate of the Lord, you're not getting into the kingdom of God. Just the way it is. The Lord sends his real representatives so that you can get the chance to get purified by association. See, that opportunity is now. You can get the ecstasy that you see here in the devotees. Otherwise not. You'll worship, nice and all this, and take another birth. If that's okay with you, fine. But this message is for those who are hungry. You want more intimacy, you got to go through the devotees who have a genuine, honest, intimate relationship with Lord Chaitanya. And they will have the symptoms. They're not just no-shows or pretenders. No, it's the real deal. You see those symptoms here. You come here, you're going to get in. Otherwise not. And anywhere else that claims to have to be a door to Vrindavan or Lord Chaitanya's association has to have the same kind of symptoms. And I haven't seen. I just see a lot of talk.
Yeah.
So I don't know, it's time to make things clear for whoever is ready to go. I mean, people are wandering around, bumping into walls. Vaishnavas don't know what is the gold standard. Well, we teach it. Dhoti or not, the gold standard is being taught here. Just frank talk now, it's just no time to waste, no beating around the bush. You want to get into this Vrindavan consciousness? You want to chant the holy name with great ecstatic devotion? Is that even of interest to you? Do you see the value in that? If you don't know who you're worshiping and what the heck you're worshiping for. Is what you see here is what you're worshiping for. I mean, ultimately, it's the reason Lord Chaitanya came to this planet, was to give the love of God that he hadn't given in 4,320,000,000 years, and he didn't even give it as Krishna to people in general. Well, anyway, that's what it's all about, really. Go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, I feel this clarification of the word position. To clarify our position, is it a transcendental position or is it a mundane position that you aim for? Yes. So this being here, it clarifies our transcendental position, our real position.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. It clarifies. So it makes clear, what is Krishna consciousness about? Is it about just being a good rule follower and an external ceremonial worshiper without any, just doing the moves, like let's choreograph the moves? No, it's a spontaneous love of God. That's what you see here. That's the door. We got to see this kind of bhakti comes through the bhaktas. They're the conduits, the flutes for it. The vibration to purify consciousness to that level. Otherwise, look at the vibrations people are listening to. People that are not ecstatic.
Yeah.
What is that? That's so
Empty and cold.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't. I listen. Yeah, yeah. So
Okay.
you know what? I think it's already 4 hours, and I'm a little bit tired. I think why don't we take a little break for a while?
Okay.
Another 4 hour deal. How does it go? It goes really fast. If I wasn't tired, we'd keep going, but
Time flies.
time flies and we have a good time. Okay, thank you very much, and
Thank you very much.
have an
Thank you.
awesome, auspicious day, which I know you'll have because we had Sadhu Sangha. A lot of ecstatic chanting, nice talking about the essence of truth. And maybe somebody will watch the video and come on board too. Increase the Vaishnava family. Okay, here, we'll read some comments here. Read this before we go.
Srila Prabhupada once said that we don't have to give up anything. Just start chanting the holy names and everything will follow. All glories to His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada, whom brought me to you, dear Gurudeva.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, chanting the holy names, everything will follow. Yeah, and especially, see, now that we just add a little clarification. So devotees will do that. Now, wouldn't it be nice if you say, just add to that, yeah, just start chanting the holy names in association with ecstatic devotees, and everything will follow even quicker, faster.
Yeah.
Why not, man? You know, that's the real process.
He never lied, Srila Prabhupada, but sometimes things were hidden.
Yeah. No, we're here to fluff it out more. Hey, that's the whole thing. Let's see what the waitress has to say.
When I am connecting in the Sangha and with the devotees, I feel my connection with the Lord so strongly. When I am a bit distant from the Sangha, I can feel a distinct difference in my connection with the Lord. I am holding on this rope with all I've got, I think. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, that's it, man. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, that's the way it's supposed to be. You know, when you have faith, when you develop faith and this touches your heart, this is how we get it. This is how we get the strength. This is our rope. I feel the same way when about the whole thing, about chanting, about, you know, the hearing these verses. You know, these, you know, this is hope. You know, connection. It's like it binds us to the God. You know. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah, read this.
Christians only say that because it comes from India. That was, I don't remember what it was. There is their stupidity. Oh, because they say yoga is from the devil. Muslims do the same. Muslims, they also say that yoga is from the devil. Oh, yeah. There is that stupidity because of the worship of demigods that most Indian people do. I think also because of the deity worship.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. That's about it. Okay. All right, good. So thank you very much, and we'll continue on a little bit later. Hare Krishna, everybody.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj.
Hare Krishna, Vrinda. Hi there. Hi, Bo.
Bye.